Hello and welcome to Big Boy Arena here in Fraser, Michigan. I'm Ben Sloggy, joined with, as always, Brady Beaton. Brady got back safely from Marquette. Heard it was a good weekend for you guys last weekend.
Yeah, it was a nice trip up there. It's a long one, but I'm glad to be back. Glad for some Rocker hockey.
I was going to say, you caught a little bit of the Blue Ridge Bobcats. I was impressed by the Bobcats. For a new team, we know being a new team last year, how people can maybe not take you as seriously or maybe not know what's coming with a new team. What impressed you about Blue Ridge?
I mean, just they seem to have everything ready for night one, and there have been teams that have come into this league that night one is hit and it doesn't look like it's night one. That they have a team out there that they're struggling a bit, and it seems like both expansion teams are going to struggle a bit, at least in the early part of this year, just the 2 wins between them. But it wasn't too bad for Blue Ridge. Now, they're going to have to figure things out, but it's part of the growing pains of being an expansion team.
Yeah, they were down 2 goals late in the opening night, was able to force overtime and unfortunately went to a shootout. We'll get into those woes in a little bit. And then, the second night was able to get a nice little win on a beautiful goal. Danny Vanderweel. Christian Pavlos tried to shoulder tackle a goal to try to not make the goal happen on the wraparound, but it counted anyways. Motor City has yet to lose in regulation, but let's take you to last weekend, though. Out in Elmira under new ownership, they are now the River Sharks and not the Mammoth. On night one, it was that familiar story. Motor City had a lead and then gave it up in the third period and then lost in a shootout 3-2. The following night on Saturday, though, completely different story. New man in net, Ricky Gonzalez. We know he's the rookie from Chatham University, was with us for a small handful of games last week, played absolutely outstanding, but Motor City was able to get a 4-3 win. But what did you think of Ricky last week? Actually getting a full slate. The last time he had started, he let in 5 goals, but he seemed to mature over the offseason.
Yeah, it's a little different coming in knowing you have a defined role from training camp, getting to spend some time, get familiar. And I think he knows that Trevor Babin's going to be the guy most nice. So you're going to be asked to go in every third, every fourth game, depending on how the schedule falls, and be able to get a win like that. And that gives Gordy confidence that, hey, you can go put him in and he will take care of business. He's not going to let you down. So I like seeing that. But overall, over the first few weeks of the season, you mentioned Motor City hasn't lost a game in regulation, but yet it still feels like there's a lot of meat left on the bone, that they're not near their ceiling, that they probably feel like they should be 6-0-0 instead of having the 2 losses in the shootout. They have room to improve, and hopefully we see that tonight against the Port Huron team that they were familiar with last year, and both sides return a lot, so they're already familiar with them this year.
They are, and the exhibition game, I think, helped as well out in Port Huron before the season started. But also, having opening night out there was that familiarity. You were able to come back and win, 3-2 in the opening night, and then, 4-2 on the second night. But again, these 2 teams know each other very, very well. They need no introduction between each other. The good thing is Motor City is now 2-0 this year, as we just mentioned, but they are 11-7 all-time in this I-94 rivalry. And, you look at things, we have to look at the standings. We're going to take a quick look at those. We'll update people on the standings. And in the Continent, well, no, we're actually not in the Continental. Last week we were. This week we got moved to the Empire. So last week we were number 1 in the Continental. This week we were just behind Binghamton by a couple of points. You talked about it, Brady, though. If you win those 6 games, you're probably right up there with the Black Bears. But we're second in the Empire. The schedule actually kind of favors it out that way. And we expected this to happen before the season, so we were tipped off to it. But, the Board of Governors finally made their vote, and now we're officially in the Empire. In your opinion, because I was thinking about it as well, not only does the schedule, because we knew it was going to happen, right? We already were preparing for it. The schedule kind of dictated it to the internet sleuths out there. But I thought we matched up pretty well in the Continental. I'm really excited to see how we match up in the Empire, because last year the Empire was only carried by 2 teams.
Yeah, I've never seen a team or a league realign mid-stride after a few weeks of the season. I mean, the schedule did basically have Motor City as an Empire team, but in everything but name before the season started, and now it's official. So, yeah, I think it's still fair to say that the Continental might be the tougher division. It's hard to tell depending on what Mississippi is, depending on what these Prowlers are that we'll see again tonight. But now you're going to have to compete with the defending champs in Danbury. Binghamton is off to a roaring start. They look like they are a legit team ready to stick near the top of the standings. So Motor City's going to have their work cut out for them. You're right. Last year, it was kind of top-heavy, but that was an Elmira team that was a completely different Elmira team.
Yep.
That was a Watertown team that fell off near the end of the year, but trying to right the wrongs from a year ago to start this season. So we'll see where the Empire falls out, but hey, I don't mind it, and I'm sure a lot of the guys don't mind it with the lack of road trips down south. I'm sure they very much enjoy being in the Empire.
Yeah, and one of the funny things about the Empire, too, you just look at the penalty minutes between the two conferences. The Empire is definitely a little more physical. The Empire likes to rack up the penalty minutes. Just as an example, the defending champs, Danbury Hat Tricks, already has in 8 games 232 penalty minutes, which paces the league. Binghamton has 189, and Watertown has 158. The only team that comes remotely close to that is Mississippi in the Continental at 179, and we're still very young in the season. We have 56 games in the entire season, and most teams have only played about 6 of those.
Yeah, you get 4 teams that they're kind of in their own little pod. They play each other a ton. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers to back it up, but you look at Motor City and Port Huron, I'm sure if you look at their average penalty minutes per game and then you looked at the games between these two teams, especially later in the season, I mean, heck, around New Year's last year, it felt like you were good for 30 penalty minutes a game, both sides. So, yeah, it's just because they're more familiar. It's a bit of a rivalry. I mean, heck, Binghamton and Elmira are just about as close as Port Huron and Motor City are. So it stands to reason that they're very familiar. It probably gets chippy, and the penalty minutes go up.
Yeah, really quickly, let's take a look at that transaction wire. Roman Gaudette still on the 15-day DL with the upper body injury that he has. He's not going to be able to be activated until after the bye week at Watertown, right before Thanksgiving. The Prowlers, though, have some reinforcements, some familiar names. Who did the Prowlers pick up?
Yes, they do. They had a couple guys come back from loan. Tuckle Scantleberry and Liam Freeborn are back. Those are 2 guys that if Port Huron wants to have success, they're going to have to lean on. And Scantleberry was a guy last year that had a lot of success, and that I'm sure Matt Graham was very happy to get back on his squad.
Yeah, definitely. And somehow the zombie of Travis Rigdon follows Motor City. Of course, Wyattville picked him up in the expansion draft. Of course, he got traded to Watertown. But, of course, he was traded to Port Huron for a good solid half hour before going to Mississippi.
Yeah, it was an interesting day where he was probably getting ready to head to Port Huron, and instead he goes the complete opposite direction down to Biloxi. So he's been passed around like a Thanksgiving dinner plate this week, and well, all the best to him, but it looks like Port Huron's going to stick with their 2 goalies, Ian Wallace and Sokolov, and that's the one thing Port Huron hasn't had for a long time is they haven't had a standout goaltender. You look at the first few years of Port Huron. I mean, the championship team with Andy DeCristofaro, then to Santa Gita on the record-setting win team, and then even into Corey Simons the last couple years of the 2010s. Since the 1920 season, Port Huron's been looking for a stalwart in net, and they haven't found it. It's been a bit of a revolving door. And I think that's been the one thing that's been really holding Port Huron back is not having a goalie that they can rely on, not having a guy they can send out there 35, 40 times in a Fed season and count on him, because they have guys who can score the puck. They have some talent up front. It's just not a lot of consistency in the crease for the Prowlers.
No, not a lot of consistency. And one of those guys that was a part of the revolving door, Chris Paulin, is now actually their goal coach. So, again, getting that mortar around, solidifying that wall in front of the post. But we're going to hand it over to Johnny G, who will give you the starting lineups for tonight. And then the national anthem will be brought to you by Sam Kasich as well. And then, of course, we'll have puck drop here at BBA in a few short minutes. We'll be right back. Well, that was a great rendition of our national anthem by Sam Kasich. Well, Brady, let's introduce people to the Prowlers and the Rockers tonight.
Now we will start from the visitors from Port Huron. On defense for the Prowlers have number 18 Dalton Young, number 27 Frank Schumacher. Forwards starting off tonight, Tucker Scantleberry, first game back from loan. He'll wear 17. Austin Federley wearing 19. Sam Merritt wearing 77. In net will be Ian Wallace, which hopefully he'll have his jersey sooner rather than later. It's in transit. For your Motor City Rockers on defense, you have Jamie Milam and Nick Miguel Diaz. Your forwards, Danny Vanderweel, Brad Ryder, Pavel Svinsov, and in net is number 72, Trevor Babin.
Yeah, and of course, since it is military night, the Rockers wearing special military uniforms. We have a special puck drop across the ice as well. I think that's one of two ceremonial puck drops, but you see, of course, that was Scott Koash dropping the puck, wearing a purple, gray, and black, almost urban camo the Rockers are wearing tonight. And on the sleeves, it's the patches of the armed forces, of course, today being Veterans Day. We'll get into a little bit of Veterans Day history for you as well. But Ryder is ready. Merritt's ready. Hopefully you're ready. The Battle of I-94 resumes as the puck is dropped. Scantleberry picks that one up, fires it wide. Federley looking to chase it down, gets it all the way to the corner. Scantleberry's going to come in and dig after the puck. Of course, this starting lineup's been basically Motor City's most producing starting lineup. This second line has been absolutely electric, and one of the reasons why is Pavel Svinsov.
And Svinsov, he's the leading scorer for Motor City right now. He's been the one big addition this year. I know GM Nick Field was very excited when I asked him who's one of the new guys to look out for. Svinsov was the first name he brought up.
Yeah, he has a hockey IQ that is honestly second to none. In one shift, he'll do one thing. The second shift, you think you can take it away from him, and that's when he starts playing mind games with you as the puck is battled along the wall. Here come the Prowlers with it. Scantleberry will carry it on in. Going around a couple of Rockers, but Milam takes him off the puck.
Veteran move by Milam. All he did was stand still. Yeah, Scantleberry wanted to dance too much. He said, all right, I'll stand right here. You won't get around me. Nice job by the vet.
Here's Mike Wynn joining the fray. I want to call Mike Wynn the unicorn for what he did in Elmira last week. Defending a 5-on-3, gets a breakaway, gets his first goal in the Fed on a shorthanded goal defending a 5-on-3. How incredible is that?
It was pretty nice. Granted, he had a little bit of luck. Maybe a blown tire helped him out. But, hey, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Well, either way, it's a special moment. Scott Koash saved the puck for him. And, again, in the most bizarre way you can get a goal, your first goal, he did it. Pass goes through center. That's going to get broken up. Matt Graham has the puck looking for an outlet. Just sends it to center. DeCumbus can't find it. Here's Wynn with the puck, goes behind the net. He leads the breakout to the far side. Puck comes back to the middle. That's in TJ Delaney. He's a new Rocker, was just signed this week. Of course, he is the brother of Tim Delaney. We have our first stoppage of play. The net is off the moorings. But he's a big body, TJ is. 6'6", 220. Of course, with Roman Gaudet still on IR, he's a guy who can really screen in front of the net, especially for a guy in Ian Wallace who on skates is probably about 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, that's being very generous. That is very generous. But, no, always having a big body up there, especially if they can skate, can move, makes a big difference. And you like to replace guys with similar roles to fill, and hopefully Roman's back sooner or later, but have another big body up front, like you said. Hopefully screen the goalie, get a few tip-in goals.
Yeah, he was a 50-50 player. There's a shot. Good save by Wallace. That came from the outside from Josh Colton.
I don't know how well Wallace has seen the puck here early. He's tried to flash leather a few times. He didn't control that rebound. Don't know how well he's seen it. Let's throw the puck on net a little bit.
Here's Motor City with the puck behind the net. Going to give it back to the point. That's going to be shot by Suffredini. Colton's going to have to go and chase. Back into the middle. Here's the assistant coach, Alex Johnson. Just will dump it in, just out of the reach of Trevor Babin. Puck's going to go to the half wall on the far side, trimmed down by Freeborn. Here's Scantleberry with it. Gets in a good look and good save there by Babin. 2.5 minutes into the opening period. Ice kind of tilting in Port Huron's favor. They've been down on Motor City end at what seems like a little more, but of course we're only talking fractured of time on attack. Here's an opportunity to Federley. That gets broken up. Svinsoff, again, using that hockey IQ. He was the one who broke up that pass, chased it down, and got it out.
Nice job by Makema to finish the check down at the Rockers' end, and it helps bring it going the other way.
Yes, it does. Here's again, Merritt just flips it in. It's going to go all the way down. Picked up there by Miguel Diaz. Motor City trying to get it out of their own end. Milam will try it. Svinsoff, again, using that speed, and he has good acceleration, too. It's not just speed. He takes nice, easy strides like he's just going down a lake.
Right there, you saw the gravity he has. You had 3 white jerseys triangulating him as he brought it into the zone.
Motor City trying to still chase it down. Svinsoff's going to get it back, overskates it for a second. Sim has it, trying to get it out. Motor City still forechecking back to the stick of Sim, and he'll carry it in across the blue. Good break up there by Dalton J. Puck's going to come out. Motor City. That's going to be dumped in. It's not going to be icing. Play has to continue. Wallace comes out to play it, going all the way back. Going to pick up the puck is Delaney, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be icing. Wallace desperate to make a play there and just shoved it down the ice 200 feet.
That's a smart play. Live to fight another shot, and instead of having the rush, send it deep, let your guys regroup, and just give yourself a whistle to take a deep breath.
See, it's funny that you say that that's a great play, because that's a debate that happens with hockey fans and diehards. Is icing a good play, yes or no? That's a great example of why it's a good play. Port Huron wins the draw. Going to carry it on the far side. That's Parsons. He's just going to move it through center. He'll lose it there. Delaney gets it back to the middle. Shoved ahead. Now picked up there by DiCostanzo. Wynn calling for that puck very aggressively. He's going to carry it in now and absorbs a hit. Mike Wynn in the offseason, of course, healthy for the first time because he missed the majority of the season last year right around Thanksgiving. Took a hard hit in Watertown, separated his shoulder. But Mike Wynn added, according to the roster, 34 pounds.
That's a lot.
Could you do that in an offseason, Brady?
Not good. Not a good 34 pounds.
Right, not a great 34 pounds. I was going to say, that takes skill. It's like that Simpsons episode where Homer, wipes something on the glass, and if you can see through it, you can eat it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of dedication to put on that much good weight.
Yes, it does. Motor City will just dump it in. They're going to change behind the play. Trying to chase that one down was Delaney. And he's a guy who hasn't missed a meal probably in a while, even though he's a hockey player. He burns calories at a high rate. Suffredini absorbs a hit. That was Evan Foley. They're going to fight for it in the corner. Delaney using his body. Can't cover the puck, though. Goes to middle, and Motor City comes out with it. Here's Ryder. Ryder's going to just carry it around. Now drops it down low. It's on Svinsoff's stick. Gets to the slot. Ryder goes around and gets a... No! Oh, what a play. I thought that was going to be in, but that's not the case.
He just couldn't find it on the stick. It was chaos in the crease, and Ryder just couldn't get enough of it to push it past. I mean, that was a wide open net. Just couldn't quite find enough. Heck of a play by Svinsoff to set that up.
Yeah, we're going to let the kids shovel, and we'll be right back with the media timeout in a few moments.
Can you turn my headphones?
All right, we are back. Let's take a quick look at shots on goal while the youngins just wrap up, finishing with their shoveling duties. Motor City and Port Huron tied at 2 apiece with shots on goal. Of course, nothing settled on the scoreboard.
Motor City's held play for I'd say the majority of the first 6 minutes. When Port Huron's had it in the zone, it hasn't been quality possession. They haven't had a lot of good looks at the net. Yeah, they've kept it inside the Rocker zone at times, but they haven't really done much with it.
No, time on attack has been pretty much even now. I mean, we talked about it again in the first 2.5 minutes, but Again, it was a fraction of the time inside the period. Heinzel gives it up to the far side. Johnson tried to swipe at it, picked up there by Merritt. Tried to get it through center, no one was home. Here's Conway, tries to center it, swiped at by Koash. Couldn't do much there. Federle bouncing over his stick. Motor City will keep it in. Suffredini pitchforking it down low. Heinzel overskates the puck. Conway settles it down. DiCostanzo fighting the puck a little bit. Rocco was a nice addition. Was a player that didn't really get a lot of eyeballs on him when you thought, hey, he was brought on. But again, credit to Nick and the front office. They see talent and they know they can develop it and turn him into a reliable, productive player.
Got a couple goals out of him in the early going, hoping to build off of the nice start.
There's a battle down low. Schumacher giving the business. Motor City, though. Makema losing the puck. Coming with it now the other way is Dalton J. Gets it up ahead to DeCumbus. DeCumbus can't get a shot off. Good play there by Milam to tie up the stick.
A nice job with the stick lift, send it to the side, and are we going to get a penalty or a hand pass?
Looks like a hand pass.
I believe that was the signal.
Yep.
That's a break for Motor City.
Yes, it is. You'll take those any day of the week. Faceoff's going to be just outside the offensive zone. Matt Graham will do battle with Derek Makema. I was talking with Derek why he wanted to change his number. He said, well, I like Sergei Fedorov, and it's what I wore as a kid. I wasn't allowed to wear it in high school or juniors or in college because the numbers didn't go that high. So he wanted to go back to what he wore as a kid. There's a shot. Babin just punches it away. He's trying to settle this one down as DeCumbus. Freiburg native. Now Motor City gets it out. Jonathan Giuliano only has one goal this year, but it came at home in the home opener, and that should be a penalty. Giuliano got hooked.
Real quick, before we talk about the penalty, I thought Dalton J did a nice job. He is not a big frame at all, and he did a good job boxing out, staying in a spot to get a point-blank chance. Better save by Trevor Babin. But then on the counterattack, Giuliano with the hustle draws the penalty after getting the shot, and now Motor City gets a chance to strike first up a man.
Yeah, Schumacher again going into the box for hooking. It's going to bring us to a power play situation. And of course, power plays this year brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Learn how Genesis can put more money in your pocket as you become one of its over 200,000 members. Learn more at genesiscu.com or at 28 convenient locations near you. Of course, Genesis also, you see their name on the Rockers helmets, but they also sponsor our Kid Zone here. Motor City. The power play last year was pretty good. Second in the league at 22.8%. This year has a lot of work to do. Still fifth in the league about halfway through. Motor City trying to change that. Net goes off the moorings. That was a quick shot by Svintsov. We saw this on opening night in Port Huron. Ian Wallace likes to shove hard post to post. And we know that goal in particular here at Big Boy Arena is not the most secure on the moorings.
Yeah, that's one that's just frustrating, just from a pace of play perspective. It was just cycling through and the net comes off. That's not a spot you really expect play to stop. Had a good flow to it, and especially for the Rockers trying to set up the power play.
Here's Milam with a blast. Good save there by Wallace.
Keep throwing pucks low, get people in spot for a rebound. It's a bouncy board off of Wallace, who now has his jersey.
Hey, look at that. I didn't even notice that. I just saw. Got it in the media timeout. Good eyes, Brady. Here's Milam. Gets it back to Miguel Diaz. I was just seeing a white jersey. Didn't even think twice of it. Cross ice pass to Milam. He's faking like he's going to shoot. But now it's on Miguel Diaz. Back to Milam. Fires that one a little high and over the net.
I think Deck was a little nervous to get in front of that. I'll give him credit. He stood in there, but he did not look like he was very happy about it.
No, there's a centering opportunity to goal. Milam. Danny Vanderweel finds Milam, and he goes top shelf. It's a 1-0 game. Power play goal for Jamie Milam. That is his first of the year.
Did a nice job. Got to the low left wing circle and picked the corner. The net did come off, but it didn't affect the goal at all. I would be surprised if they changed anything. It did move, but But Ben, it didn't really affect it at all, and it was Wallace pushing off, so it looks like the goal will stand as it should.
Yep, they just went to the scorer's table. Jesse's punching it in. See if it comes up on the scoreboard. Again, it is that goal. That's not great. And you saw the linesman put some water around the base of the moorings, hoping that will help. But that goal will count. Koash with a good face-off win at center. There's Wynn, gives it to the far side. DiCostanzo can't move it ahead. I will say this, Koash and Conway have had to play with a new forward almost every single week as the third guy on their line. Of course, Inger isn't there anymore, and you got to find a guy to fill that spot. It was Gaudet at one point, but again, he got injured. There's a deflection in, and Rocco DiCostanzo. What do you like about that?
Again, starts with the bouncy puck from in close. A shot that hits off the pad, keeps it alive, and all DiCostanzo had to do was angle his skate, use it almost as a backboard right in. And Motor City flying around early. I like the way the Rockers are playing.
Coming out strong. We were just talking about being the third guy on the line, and he says, hey, notice me. Right on cue. Getting a goal, Rocco DiCostanzo getting his third of the year. Got one in Port Huron, though, on opening night. So he gets another one against the Prowlers. It's really interesting, too. The Prowlers had a bye week last week.
Yeah, with 11 teams, you're going to have time off. It just is the way the schedule is going to work. But right now, if I'm Motor City, I get the puck in the zone. I'm sending two guys to the net, and I'm just firing the puck at 41. It is very bouncy. You can get goals like that. Maybe not the prettiest, but just keep throwing it on net. Keep the pressure on. Talked about this last year. You can not say put a team away in period number one, but you can break their spirits. If you can get another one in the first half of the first period, you're feeling really solid, and it's going to take a big effort to come back from that.
Yeah, you're right. It can definitely get on you.
That's something Motor City struggled with at times last year.
Yeah.
It seemed like almost every home game Motor City would score first, and then the question was, could they keep up the momentum? We've seen them play a good 10 minutes to start the game. Can they continue that?
Here's Vanderweel on the far side. We hope he can. He has Finsoff in the middle, just out of his reach.
I think they got the memo. There's a lot of pucks going in the direction of Ian Wallace.
Yes, Ian Wallace doing a good job. Going to let the boys come out and shovel one more time. We'll step away and we'll come right back.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees, no minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just two simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
All right, we're back. Motor City, of course, leading on the scoreboard 2-0. Leading shots on goal 7-4 as well. Ryder trying to win that draw, gets tied up. Good draw there by Merritt. And the Prowlers will have an opportunity to get it to center, and they do.
And that's about all they've been able to do. They turn it over in the neutral zone. Motor City's been doing a very nice job not letting Port Huron set anything up.
Well, that's what I was kind of alluding to, because Motor City's going to have a bye week after this game, right? We know Port Huron had a bye week entering tonight. That can really stifle your momentum, even though it's nice to rest the legs a little bit, but that can really put a little stick in between the spokes, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as much to do with the bye. I'm assuming you're still skating. Early in the season, it might make a little bit more of a difference. But when I think the biggest thing is And Matt Graham does a great job with what he's given, but not having a coach on the bench to make adjustments to say, this is what I'm seeing. It's hard to go out there, play on one of your top lines, fly around, and then also make the adjustments on the bench. I think that's where the biggest disconnect is.
Oh, here's Miguel Diaz carrying it in. Here's a shot by Miguel Diaz and a goal. Number 2 on the year.
That was just a beauty. There was nothing Ian Wallace could do in that one. He just picks the corner. Oh boy, 3-0. You get one more and then those floodgates start to open.
Well, I mean, it was one of those things. Just fired a perfect shot from the near side circle and got number 2. Of course, when Rocco DiCostanzo scored, Declan Conway got the assist. That's his 3rd assist on the year. But, man, Nick Miguel Diaz carried that one in, and Motor City just keeping the pedal to the metal, wanting to get a win here at home on Military Night. And actually, we got a great crowd looking around, kind of scanning everything. We might be, 2/3 full maybe?
Hard to tell, but Port Huron travels pretty well.
They do.
Again, it's only about 45 minutes from McMorran to Big Boy Arena. So they naturally, when Port Huron comes to town, you get some bigger crowds.
Oh, yes. Well, coming through the middle now is Scantleberry. He's going to try to fire it in. Babin, who hasn't seen action in a little bit, just covers up the puck, will freeze it. 7:39 left here in the opening period. Motor City again with a 3-0 lead. Thanks to Jamie Milam, Rocco DiCostanzo, and Nick Miguel Diaz. Face off on the far side, Matt Graham. Good win for Port Huron. Young keeps it in. DeCumbus tried to give it back to Graham, just past his stick. Mike Wynn trying to get it out. Does get it past the blue line. Motor City now going to get it into the offensive zone. There's a quick shot. Ian Wallace saves it and covers it up right there. Kind of makes you wonder at this point. And again, Ian Wallace is a solid, respectable goaltender, but
he's just not seeing the puck tonight. I don't know if he's secured the first shot and been able to absorb anything. Just feels like everything's bouncing off of him, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at. If he's not seeing the puck clearly, when do you start thinking, hey, it's not your night, let's see what McCarr can do and maybe do a switch?
Well, again, it goes back to not having a guy on the bench that can make that decision.
Right.
It's hard for Matt Graham to think about it as he's trying to attack in the offensive zone about, all right, should I switch my goalie Instead, he's thinking, how can I get us a goal on the ice? That's just where having a player coach, that's one of the drawbacks of it.
Yeah, Mike Wynn takes the net off the moorings. And, of course, Matt Graham just bounced off T.J. Delaney like a rubber ball, tried to deliver a hit. We know Matt, when the team's down as well, he likes to galvanize the Prowlers by getting a little more physical, inspiring guys with big hits, trying to, raise the tides that way. But Motor City, again, under 7 minutes, playing well, 3-0 lead. In the face-off circle was Foley, and Ryder can't win that one. The funny thing is, too, a lot of the guys, we know it's in the month of November. Brady, you got a great mustache. I can't grow one. I have to do the full beard or nothing. But a lot of guys are following that suit.
Yeah, tis the season for the mustache.
It is. A lot of guys. Scott Koash has one. Rocco DiCostanzo rocks one like it's just easy. Maybe just thinks about it and a mustache appears. Going down behind the net was it looked like Ryder. I think Ryder again trying to maybe grow a mustache, but hard to see either way. Svensov gives us one up. Here's Ryder down low. There's a shot, just pushed it wide. Picard for Port Huron, he's a guy who's been hot. The funny thing is, Picard has only played in 3 games. He has 3 goals, and he got the first goal in the game each time. That one goes wide. Merritt trying to chase it down at the half wall. Motor City trying to settle down the puck so they can get the breakout going. Ryder thinks about it, but then stops. Quick little D to D. Colton back to Suffredini, allows Motor City to change. There's DiCostanzo, can't accept the pass. It's a giveaway. Good poke check there by Koash. And Scantlebury will hold on to it. Fires that one. Babin gloves it. And he'll freeze it right there with 5:30 left here in the first period.
Nice job by Scott Koash to be an eraser, get rid of that mistake, let everyone get back 5-on-5. And then Trevor Babin, who's been tested maybe twice in this first period, easily brings that one in. Again, that's been the difference between the netminders tonight. Hey, one shot back to a draw.
Of course, during the intermission break, we will look at the out-of-town scoreboard, but in the meantime, play will continue. Motor City trying to settle down the puck. They don't have to. It will be icing. But, of course, like we mentioned, power play is brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. If you come to a game here at Big Boy Arena, take the kids to the Genesis Rockers Kids Zone. There's floor hockey, cornhole, face painting, candy. Of course, if you're here, our partners Slap Shots as well. You can get an adult beverage. Have a good time. Just get tickets at rockershockey.com/tickets. Of course, the next time we will be home after tonight is going to be a while. It's going to be December 9th.
Not a lot in 2023.
But a lot in 24.
Yes, it is a very backloaded schedule. Both Motor City and Port Huron are going to be on the road. I think Port Huron's next home game is in about a month.
Yeah.
After tomorrow, they don't. It's about 27 days, I believe, between home games.
Well, yeah, we have the media timeout, but yeah, I mean, looking at Port Huron's schedule, you're right. They go down to Baton Rouge, then they have Mississippi.
Talk about 3 back-to-back-to-back brutal bus rides.
Yes. And again, right after Thanksgiving, you have Black Friday down in Mississippi.
So that means you're traveling on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I mean, those are tough, especially because you're going down to Carolina. You don't want to mess around and take an early bus and arrive the day of that game, because those are going to be games that could loom large. That could be a stretch that if Port Huron, depending on their standings, could look back on and go, that was a big difference in our season.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the next time Port Huron's at home is to start the home and home against us. So we will go out to Port Huron and then we'll come back.
You'll see a lot with the 11 teams is you'll have some teams that have 1 or 2 game weekends where I think Carolina does it once. I believe Binghamton might do it as well, where they come up, they'll play Motor City one night and Port Huron another. 2 games in 2 days, but against 2 different teams. So instead of having a bye week, you'll have a 1-game weekend for either the Prowlers or the Rockers. And you can do that too with some of the New York teams as well, and even down south to a degree.
This is why I love you, Brady. You segued it perfectly, because Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, you go to Watertown, and then you come, and then after that, after Thanksgiving on Friday, you go to Elmira.
Not very far from each other.
Nope. Close drives nonetheless. That will be icing yet again. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes you can just pop in and pop out. And that's the other funny thing. It's bookended. That trip is bookended. You have Watertown, then again you go to Elmira, and then in December you go to Danbury. Then after Danbury, you play on Sunday in Watertown, and you come back.
Well, it just makes sense. You're all the way out in Connecticut. On the way home, stop in at Watertown. That's something that the Fed had not done in years past. That I think they've done a really good job of this year, at least for Motor City, is trying to, make it work and not have some ridiculous road trips. Get the most out of your miles.
Yeah. Well, road trips are not cheap. They're taxing on the body, taxing on the tax checkbooks as well, and on the balance sheet. Here's Sim, carried it in, lost the puck at the blue line. Motor City riding along the half wall, trying to get control of the puck. Miguel Diaz, the latest goal scorer, to make it 3-0. Try to get it out, and they did. It's going to be offsides. Matt Graham and another Prowler was the guilty party. One thing that's also new this year is fan saves. And fan saves and the Rockers have partnered together to really help you save money. You can go to your app store on your phone, download the Fan Saves app, and follow the Motor City Rockers. You're on your way to scoring great deals with our partners. You can, if you're a season ticket holder, you can get $400 off a Serta mattress. How do you like that?
They have a lot of good deals, and the nice part is you don't even have to go looking for them. They'll just pop up and tell you when a deal's hot.
Yeah, it's amazing. Of course, we have a winger of the game, for the weekend. It's Pavel Svinsov, so no pressure to him. But if he scores, you get some free boneless wings at Buffalo Wild Wings if you have that Fan Save app on your phone. Carrying it in, Freeborn. Again, back with the Prowlers after being on loan. Here's Deck with a shot. Deck's one of the interesting cases for the Prowlers because it's a newer thing this year. You have a rolling PTO option. You can sign the PTO, stay on for 4 games, and then re-sign your PTO if you want to.
It kind of negates the purpose of a PTO.
It does.
I mean, the PTO is, hey, let's bring a guy in for a weekend, maybe 2, to see if he jives, and then you have to make a decision. If you can just go back to the PTO, then it kind of loses all meaning.
Well, but again, Braden Deck and David Gaeta are the 2 guys for Port Huron that's been rolling on PTO. So Matt Graham taking advantage of that loophole.
Hey, it's a smart thing to do if you're Matt Graham.
I mean, again, do what you can with the rules that are given to you, right?
All right, time to be smart. You're up 3-0. Prowlers can get chippy. Don't let it devolve. You're up 3-0. If they want to take a penalty, you can get a back-breaking goal here in the first period. If they want to give you 2 minutes on a man advantage.
Well, again, that's the funny thing with the Prowlers, right? We knew this from last year. That if they want to get back into a game, they usually knew they had to get Motor City to commit maybe a mistake, get in the penalty box. And, again, the 2 guys that do that are Matt Graham and Alex Johnson that are trying to be more physical and goat Motor City into a mistake. Johnson's going to carry down the puck and hold on to it. Now he's going to get it back to center to Federle. Austin Federle has it there for a moment. Now fires a shot on Babin. The rebound is loose. Still goes over the net, but it's going to stay in play. Merritt moves it in front. Federle can't get a stick on it. Motor City trying to get this one out of the D zone desperately. Puck comes back to the point. Federle fires into a crowd. Rocco DiCostanzo. Well, so interestingly enough, whoa, hang on here. Dante Suffredini doesn't like what Tucker Scantlebury had to say.
Well, Dante Suffredini had a nice play when the puck was up in the air. I believe it was Austin Federle. He was kind of boxing out, not giving him a clean look, and just made life a little tougher when Babin trying to get his bearings.
Well, but here's the interesting thing, right? We know a player might be going to the box, but if Scantlebury
looks like
but if he lost his helmet
and continued to play,
and if he continued to play, he should be in the box also because that's a new rule in the Fed.
What?
Are they saying that Babin committed the roughing call before he was allowed to do that?
They put 2 minutes up for Motor City.
Yeah, it's roughing because Declan Conway is going to be the one serving. Well,
so yeah, Babin gets the 2 for roughing.
Well, there you go. Brings a Rockers penalty kill brought to you by Insight Healthcare. Not feeling yourself? Visit one of Insight's locations across southeastern Michigan for all your medical needs and get some insight into your health today. Motor City was able to get the clear.
This can be a big 2 minutes. If Port Huron can get a goal here, the message is, hey, get this one, stop the bleeding, make it a 2-goal deficit going into the first intermission. Hey, and then we have 40 minutes to cut into that. If they don't score here 3 goals, that just looks a lot more daunting.
Well, and Port Huron is tied with Watertown with 10 power play goals on the season. So they can definitely fire from the outside, and as Will Wiggleman likes to call him, a shooting gallery from the point. There was one that goes wide. Going to be settled down there by Sim. Gets it to the point to Federle. Back to Sim on the far side. Down low. Centered in front. Saved by Babin. Wow. Holy smokes. How did Trevor stop that one? The crowd here at BBA got to their feet.
That is playing the percentages. He threw his blocker out, tried to get as wide, as big as possible, and well, the puck hit him, but he did a nice job trying to get back over. That was a heck of a tic-tac-toe pass from Port Huron. It was just Trevor Babin making a better play.
Whew. 35 seconds left. The Insight Healthcare penalty kill. Motor City's going to get another good clear. Declan Conway can come out. Motor City, actually with their penalty kill, they're sixth in the league. So again, still middle of the road, but really making this one look easy except for that amazing save by Babin. Port Huron with one final push. 11 seconds left in the man advantage. Johnson slides it along the blue line. There's a shot. Babin stopped it. No, it went into a crowd. Makema gets tied up with the puck now with Schumacher. Cycles it down low, and Declan Conway's a free man. First power play pelt for Motor City. 29 seconds left. Pitchforked out, and it's going to stay in play. Wow. Did not think that was going to happen, but Schumacher has to chase it down.
I don't know if they realized the penalty had expired.
Again, that is fair. Here's Koash with under 10 seconds to play. Motor City. Hey, look at us. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Meijer broadcast booth. You missed a fun period. Motor City has a 3-0 lead. Brady and I will recap it for you really quick. But honestly, first thoughts coming out of the gate, it was really all Motor City. There was a little bit of time on attack at the beginning of the period for Port Huron. What do you think Motor City did to negate that and turn the ice tilting the other way?
Well, I said it during the period, is that Port Huron's time on attack wasn't quality. Yeah, they spent some time in the rocker zone, but they didn't do much with it. They only had a couple quality chances until that point-blank chance and an amazing save by Trevor Babin. But the other thing they did is they kept it simple. Hey, they were throwing pucks on net. They had a deflected one. You had just a beautiful corner that was picked for the third goal. So they kept it simple. Hey, Ian Wallace has not been seeing the puck very well, so they just kept attacking, and they've been rewarded for it. The other thing in the defensive end that I like is they are not giving Port Huron a lot of room. Whoever has the puck seems to have a defenseman in his face, not giving him room to work, and it's just disrupted the flow of Port Huron's offense.
Really, you know what maybe be disrupting Ian Wallace's flow? Having his jersey.
I don't know if that's made much of a difference tonight.
I don't think it has either. I'm just trying to find answers for any Prowler fans. Unfortunately,
he is just not seeing the puck well tonight, and Motor City's taking advantage of it. And they did a nice job killing the power play at the end of that period to keep the 3-goal advantage going into the first break.
Yeah, speaking of a break, we will step aside really quick, let our sponsors talk to you for a few seconds. We'll come back. We'll check the out-of-town scoreboard as well. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey on the YouTube page. We'll be right back.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees, no minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just 2 simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
Come on, let's eat. Yeah. Bird, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Go Live Sportscast.
You want to feel all right on a weekend night?
Old Time Hockey is back.
Come see the Motor City Rockers. They kick ice. Big Boy Arena in Fraser's the only place where the beer is cold and the ice is hot.
With the up-close action of real Detroit hockey.
Everybody's going to leave their seat. Get your tickets now and bring the whole family. Old Time Hockey, new family fun. The Motor City Rockers. They kick ice.
Give yourself a raise.
All right,
Open a
welcome
checking
back to the
account that
Meyer
can pay you nearly
broadcast booth. Of
$400
course,
a year.
at Meyer you can
Genius
get
high-yield
things,
checking now earns
anything you want. More importantly, you can get them for
5.25%
less.
APY.
Visit any one of Meyer's 123 store locations all across Michigan for your home, garden, and grocery needs. Meyer, why pay more? Well, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard, see what's going on around the Fed. We are one of 4 games going on. Of course, Binghamton, pacing the Empire Division, is locked up in a tight game with Carolina at a 2-2 game.
They were down. Carolina was up 2-0 to start that one, so Binghamton has roared back in that one in the second period to even it up with the Carolina team that, that's a pretty good interdivisional matchup.
It really is, and Dawson Baker was the first one to get on the board for the Thunderbirds, and then Roman Kramer joined in on the action 10 minutes later. Then Tyson Kirkby joined in the second period, followed by a goal 3 minutes later by Nikita Ovechkin, who tied it up at 2 on the power play. Then we go across to our friends in Blue Ridge in the mountain ranges out there, facing Joe Pace's Mississippi Seawolves. That one is just deadlocked at 1 after 1. Kyle Stevens got on the board first for Wyattville, and then Yanni Liriakos, a man who can do basically anything you want him to. He got a big shorthanded goal to tie it at 1.
Well, those are two teams that kind of need a win. Mississippi's been off to a decent start. Wyattville's been playing all right, but haven't figured it out quite yet. Both sides really need it.
Yeah, and speaking of both sides really needing it, this has been an interesting 3-game series. So Baton Rouge on the opening night on Thursday, right? Or was it Wednesday? Either way, first game they stunned Columbus. They were able to get a win. Columbus followed that up with a win. This is the third game tonight in the Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge, and they're still knotted up at 0.
Yeah,
that's kind of wild.
Yeah, Baton Rouge has struggled to start out of the gate, and Columbus, well, they've established themselves as you can always pencil in Columbus. They're going to be near the top of any standings you put in the Fed, but they've done a nice job in Baton Rouge trying to copy what Columbus has done, hoping to take this 3-game series.
Yeah, that would be big. I mean, for the Zydeco, that'd be big if you can take a 2 out of 3 from the Columbus River Dragons. That's a statement in itself. As you said, both new teams trying to really get things going. And of course, here, unfortunately, could not see the first period, but Jamie Milam got on the board first, about 11 minutes into the period, and got a big goal right in front, beating Ian Wallace. And then Rocco DiCostanzo deflected one right in front of the net. Declan Conway centered the pass to DiCostanzo, went right off his boot. It went in. Then Nick Miguel Diaz fired a shot no one thought anyone would see, and Ian Wallace didn't see it either. Nicholas Miguel Diaz got a goal to make it 3-0. That'll be good. We will throw it back to our sponsors, and we'll come back with the man, the myth, the legend, Will Wiggleman, who unfortunately could not do the game, but we wanted to bring our friend Will onto the broadcast. We'll talk to him when we come right back.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees, no minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just 2 simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
That turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Go Live Sportscast.
You want to feel all right on a weekend night?
Old Time Hockey is back.
Come see the Motor City Rockers. They kick ice. Big Boy Arena in Frazier's the only place where the beer is cold and the ice is hot.
With the up-close action of real Detroit hockey.
Everybody's going to leave their seat. Get your tickets now and bring the whole family. Old time hockey, new family fun. The Motor City Rockers. They kick ice.
All right, welcome back here to the Meyer broadcast booth. Fans, if you're looking to change your insurance coverage, we have a man who can help you out. Ronald Schocker is your local Farm Bureau insurance agent located in Shelby Township, right off Van Dyke. He and his team have been protecting and providing Michigan families with auto, home, life, and health insurance since 2016. For all your insurance needs, trust Michigan Farm Bureau agent Ronald Schocker, and request a quote today. Also, Lasting Impressions Promotional Marketing is the official merchandise provider of the Motor City Rockers. It's a family-owned Michigan business that is located conveniently right here in Canton, Michigan. Looking for a corporate branding with excellent value at an economical price? Check out Lasting Impressions at litem.com. That's litem.com, a proud partner of your Motor City Rockers. Well, I said we would bring in Will Wiggleman. Will, welcome to our broadcast. Sorry your guys' broadcast couldn't come on tonight, but again, we wanted to at least have you on. Thank you for being gracious and stepping away from your dinner. What did you think of the first period? Well, you actually probably got to see everything cleanly and unbiasedly.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on. I was hoping at some point we would be able to chat live on the air. This is not why I wanted the reasoning for that I was hoping for, but I'm glad we at least get to talk on the air a little bit tonight. But yeah, I mean that first period, I think after the third goal, the Prowlers were able to kind of settle down, regroup, and push the play a little bit more up the ice. But yeah, that was an onslaught for them at the beginning and the first few minutes, and a couple of goals that I didn't think Ian Wallace would give up, especially that third one, just from the sideboards there. Wallace has worked really hard this offseason. He looked very, very good the first weekend between these two teams up at McMorran, and he's looking like the starter right now for the team. But again, I think the team kind of was able to slow down and regroup past the halfway point of the period and even things out a little bit more. But it's going to be a tough mountain to climb, obviously, but they have some new guys in the lineup. And now let me get a little bit of my prep. I did a lot of prep for tonight, and I just want to spill out of that a little bit. But the big story, Tucker Scandalberry and Liam Freeborn both returning. They were in SBHL camps during this September. Scandalberry was in Huntsville, where he spent a little time last year, and Freeborn was in Peoria at camps. They return this week, and there's significant guys. Freeborn, obviously a very skilled guy who puts up a lot of points, and Scandalberry, again, he got the call up to the SBHL in December last year and came back for the playoffs. But he's shown the ability to take over games at this level. He's got a little bit of nastiness to him. As you saw, he got Trevor Babin to take a penalty, although Trevor Babin is prone to take penalties, at least as far as goalies are concerned. But Tucker Scandalberry is a tough guy and very, very skilled as well. So having those guys back in the lineup, obviously a little bit of an adjustment with sneaking them back in, and there's a real influx of forwards right now on the Port Huron roster that they're trying to figure out. But they're hoping that this weekend they'll be able to figure out some things before heading down south for the rest of the month.
Yeah, we got into that. And one thing that I wanted to ask you, because obviously you're able to see it, you're up in Port Huron. What was like a bye week like? Well, what did the guys do? Was it, maybe putting in an extra 30 minutes of practice, maybe that extra 30 minutes working on special teams? How did the Prowlers take advantage of their bye week?
Now, there was a lot of special teams, yes, that they worked on.
Because your power play clearly needs help.
Well,
10 goals.
You know what?
Come on.
But to put the asterisk on that, 4 of those goals did come in 5-on-3 situations.
Hey, you got to make them pay when it's 5-on-3. Will
all against Mississippi, by the way.
Yeah, that is true.
They take a lot of penalties. But yeah, a lot of extra work and just trying to hammer home the details is what Coach Graham was telling me they were doing on the ice. Actually, last Friday they did a little 3-on-3 tournament. They set up teams of 4, did a little tournament, and they needed an extra guy. So guess who they called? Yours truly, suited up, put the gear back on, and participated in this little 3-on-3 tournament.
I was gonna say, do not sell yourself short. You have an elite prospects page.
I do.
You are a guy who's played college hockey. You know what you're doing if you got those skates on and you got the mitts holding a pull cue. You know what you're doing.
I was out there. I was whipping it around a little bit. But it was a lot of fun. And, I'm sure the guys had a lot of fun just to get a day where you're not going hard, working on stuff. You get to play little fun games, little in-team competition. But thanks for having me on during the break. I'll hand the mic back to Brady.
One quick last question. Did you get a goal in that 3-on-3 tournament an assist? Did you get any points?
Oh, I had a primary assist.
Hey!
Not a phantom. Not a secondary. I got a primary.
There you go.
Yeah, I was on the score sheet.
Well, that's all you need to know. Not only does he have an elite prospects page, got on a score sheet on a 3-on-3 tournament. Again, Will, great talking to you. Tomorrow night, Will Wiggleman will have your broadcast up in Port Huron to finish the home and home. But always happy that we can speak with our friend Will Wiggleman because, again, there's a rivalry on the ice, but off the ice we're friends. We like Will. He does a great job. If you haven't gone and watched his off-season recap of Behind the Eyes, that was really good. Really good, innovative thing. Motor City and Port Huron ready to get this second period underway. It's starting lineups for both teams. Brad Ryder can't win that face-off draw, but again, Behind the Eyes was a good watch. It was fun. It was 10-minute episodes. Really cool to see how training camp played out in Port Huron. Again, that was all Will. Will has free reign over that YouTube page that he's rebranded to the Port Huron Prowler Network. Really good stuff. Can't wait to hear him call the game tomorrow. Motor City trying to get this one out. Miguel Diaz chips it to the near side. Vanderweel swipes and misses, but on the second attempt gets it down low, and play will continue.
First few minutes are going to be big again. Port Huron's trying to just get that first one, cut it to a much more manageable 2-goal deficit.
That's just it. There was a centering opportunity for Svinsov, but again,
they get that on the stick. I think Svinsov buries it.
100%. He's dancing around with the puck on the far side, looking to carry it, but going to drop it off to Koash. Koash tried to pass it. That bounced off the leg of Schumacher. And Svinsov got held into the boards. That's going to be an easy penalty call. Sam Merritt just grabbed him by the uniform and threw him against the boards. You can't do that.
Well, Svinsov, he's quick, he's shifty, I think is the best way to describe Pavel Svinsov, and that's why he's had so much success early. This time he draws the penalty. Rocker's already 1-for-1, trying to get a second one, which you get that 4-goal lead, that could be a backbreaker earlier in the second.
Yeah, again, Power Plays this year brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Learn how Genesis can put more money in your pocket. Become one of its over 200,000 members. And you can learn more at genesiscu.com. There was a quick shot that just went over the shoulder of Trevor Babin. So Merritt officially in the box for holding. As Brady said, Motor City already 1-for-1. Really helping things out. Trying to get more better, as some people would say, on the power play. Of course, middle of the road on power play and penalty kill. Port Huron, though, is second on power play, but ninth on penalty kill. So they struggle. They're able to get the clear. Babin comes out. He's going to play it. Here's Colton. Looking for that breakout, passing it to Mike Wynn. Wynn's going to shove it up the ice, quickly tapped at center. It's going to be held up there by Heinzel as he tumbles down. Johnson's going to pitchfork this one, kept in, though, by Vanderweel.
Port Huron's penalty kill has been much, much better. Motor City, halfway through this power play, hasn't been able to even set anything up. So they're looking like 5-on-5 action instead of a power play.
You're right. And there's 45 seconds left of the Genesis Credit Union power play. Here's Milam. He has a goal today. Was able to get that first one on the power play. Lost the puck, though. Svinsov has it, slides it over to the point. Now down low, broken up there by Foley. Svinsov calling for it at the point. Here's Miguel Diaz, fired that one. Ryder tips it. Motor City holds on to it. 23 seconds left in the man advantage. Back to the point, Miguel Diaz. Back to Svinsov on the near side. Cycles it down low. Ryder leaves it for Vanderweel. Back up to the point, deflected out of harm's way by Port Huron. That's going to kill the power play. First power play pelt for the Prowlers.
I like what the Rockers were trying to set up. It just took them 60, 70 seconds to finally get into the rhythm. And by that point, one mistake and they kill off the penalty. But they were doing a nice job cycling through, trying to get guys in the middle of that penalty kill. Just couldn't get that last pass they needed.
Well, Motor City has control of the puck. Here's Jonathan Giuliano. Giuliano has one goal. He got it against Blue Ridge. It was his first goal since coming off the bench as a coach. Of course, talked to him about that. If he had any butterflies coming back on the ice, he said no. It was like riding a bike. Just happy to be back. Puck comes back down low. Derek Makema shielding. Has control of it. Fires that one on Wallace. He's going to paddle it to the corner. Good play there by Young. Gives it up to the far side. Sent right back to Young. Prowlers trying to get a breakout going here. Motor City with that forecheck and pressure, not allowing Port Huron an easy way to get that breakout and finding a pass. They're going to try to stretch it. And that's going to be way off sides by Scantlebury.
That'll come all the way back to the Port Huron zone. And Port Huron, I mean, it looks a little desperate right now, just trying to figure out something that'll work. Motor City's done a great job of keeping constant pressure applied, and even when Port Huron has gotten a little something, they haven't been able to do too much with it.
You mean a desperation Hail Mary to try to get it out of the zone? Didn't work. How do you like that? Well, face off on the near side circle. Coash. This line also has a goal. It was off the stick of Rocco Di Costanzo. He was the one who deflected Declan Conway. One of his passes right off his boot went right in. Merritt over skating the puck. Motor City going to pitchfork this one, kept in though at the point. Motor City gets it right back. There's a shot by Conway. That's a good save by Wallace, and he took out Wallace. That's incidental, and Wallace is going to hold on to him. The ref has to blow the whistle. Yes, he does. That is.
Are they sending someone?
That's what it looked like. That's why I kind of paused.
Let's see.
I mean, it sounded and looked, body language-wise, it looked like he was maybe going to send Conway out. But
nope. It's going to stay 5-on-5.
All right. Well, we saw last night that hurt the Red Wings. Reimer held on to the Habs players I'm drawing a blank on right now, but he held on to him, and, of course, he got the game-winning goal in overtime. Here's Conway, got off the Schneid, and Elmira got his first one of the season after getting 27 last year, was second in points. He's been fighting to get a goal and hoping once he gets one, more will follow.
Yeah, starting off the season with a cold streak, always the worst one because you look at the stat sheet and it just says 1 or 0, and you're trying to just find something to build on. Hey, if you go in a slump from December to January, not a lot of people notice if you already have something established, but early in the season, maybe a little more frustrating starting off with a cold streak.
A little bit. And of course, when you have a line mate that gets a game-winning goal like Scott Coash did in Port Huron, you don't want to get down on yourself. You find other ways to contribute, and Conway has done that to his credit. He is a professional. He's gotten an assist tonight, but entering tonight, he had 2 assists in 6 games, so not bad. Still finding ways to contribute. Here comes the Prowlers federally. Feathers it ahead and can't find Graham. Motor City going to tilt it the other way. Here's TJ Delaney. Drop that one off for Milam. Milam gets into the circle, fires it. Wallace gobbles it up and freezes it right there. It's going to take us to the first media timeout. We will step aside, say hello again to our sponsors, and we'll come right back.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees. Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees. No minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just 2 simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
All right, welcome back to Big Boy Arena. Thank you for everyone's patience. Still trying to work through a couple of things, but as of right now, we're working through a second period. Still fresh in the second period, but Motor City is out shooting Port Huron 4-1 in the game, 14-11. Of course, Port Huron was getting outshot a lot, but they were able to get back into it late in the first period, and they were able to tie it up in shots on goal at 10 at the end of the first.
Not a lot of quality. They had the one chance. I believe it was Dalton Jay from point blank.
Yep.
Trevor Babin stole a goal from Jay, but besides that, a lot of it has not been anything that has made you wince or hold your breath at all.
Definitely not. Here's Ryder, gives it up to Vanderweel. Vanderweel's been having a heck of an early start. Tried to center that one to Svinsoff. Having Svinsoff has really helped Vanderweel. He is 3rd in the league on plus-minus with +8. Told that to Danny before the game. He's like, there's no way. I had to show him.
Well, again, when you have a guy like Svinsoff that is attracting people, has that gravity about him, makes a difference.
It does. There's a, well.
You're going to get a cross check, I believe. They might take both, but Adam Heinzel's definitely going to the box for a cross check. or a slash.
I was going to say they're going to call a slash.
6 in one, half dozen in the other. It's going to be 2 minutes in the box. Or are they taking? Oh, they're taking the wrong guy. They are taking the wrong man, and that's what Alex Johnson is saying. Unless there was something else I missed, but Adam Heinzel is getting. And there's an angry. He's a little bit angry.
I would be too. It's like when you're going 5 over, you get pulled over because the cop's not going to go after the guy going 15 over on the highway. Same thing. Motor City, though, back on the Genesis Credit Union power play. Here's Colton. Fires that one. It's going to be a save by Wallace. Rebound comes out. Colton swipes at it and sends it down low to Makema. Picking up the puck along the wall is DiCostanzo. Gives it to Wynn. Excuse me, that is Conway, not DiCostanzo. There's another somehow glove save. Ian Wallace had no idea he got the puck, but he did. Prowlers trying to get it out of their own end. Sam Merritt does as it bounces over the stick of Mike Wynn. Again, Mike Wynn, for people who didn't hear in the first period, had a unicorn of a goal, his first of his professional career in Elmira, defending a 5-on-3, getting a breakaway and a shorthanded goal for his first one as a pro. Getting to the puck there is Parsons. There's an opportunity to center, broken up by Port Huron. 52 seconds left in the man advantage, and the Prowlers trying to see if they can get a shorty. DeCumbis going to the wall, centers it. Good break up there by Milam. Drops it off to Miguel Diaz. 37 seconds. Gives it up to the near sides. Finsoff carries in along the wall, drops it off. Milam gives it right back. Finsoff to the far side, and Milam got rocked by Scantlebury.
It's always dangerous on the penalty kill trying to throw a big hit. Then at best it's 4-on-3. The ice gets a lot more wide open.
Well, there's a shot. Wallace was able to make that save. Vanderweel picks up the rebound. Trying a wrap-around attempt like he did 2 weeks ago. Did not bury it, and the net's off the moorings.
That's a break for Motor City. That'll give them a offensive zone draw, I believe. And instead, that puck was about to be cleared.
Yeah. Again, Pavlos Fintsov is the winger of the game. He has to score. Of course, if you have the Fan Saves app, it's how Fan Saves and Motor City have partnered together to help you save money. All you got to do, go to your app store, search Fan Saves, download and follow the Motor City Rockers page. Make it really easy for you. Great deals are literally at your fingertips. Little confusion there for Motor City, trying to get some correct guys on the ice. Makema came off. They win. There's a opportunity for Colton. He thought about firing it, checked, and then fired again, and Wallace made an easy save to reset.
That was a good decision by Colton. I think he initially did want to go for the one-timer, but he saw there were no Prowlers in front of him. He said, all right, I'll skate it up another 5-10 feet and fire from basically the hash marks. Just a nice job by Ian Wallace, who has seemed to have settled in here in the second period.
Ian Wallace had a shaky start, but you're right, he's settling in. Again, maybe feeling comfortable in his own threads. Here's a shot by Koash, got blocked, going to come back to the point. Johnson comes out of the box, centered in front. Wallace paddles it away. Here's Graham, just out of his reach, but it's going to be kept in by Federley. And Babin saying, I don't like people in my personal space, and there's more pushing and shoving. Babin this time doing the smart thing and stepping away.
I think they're going to get Matt Graham. And they are, man, that's one you just can't take if you're Matt Graham. You just killed a penalty where the Rockers had sustained possession. And then you take a penalty for what? It wasn't in the pace of the game. That's a bad one to take if you're Graham. And Motor City can take advantage of this. You get one here, then you really feel like you have the Prowlers on a downhill spiral.
Yeah, well, again, it's going to put us on the Genesis Credit Union power play, but also do want to remind you guys that stay tuned after the game for tonight's 3 stars of the game and an opportunity, if you're here at Big Boy Arena, to catch a Star of the Game t-shirt courtesy of Lasting Impressions Promotional Marketing, a family-owned Michigan business. Face off on the far side. Schumacher still trying to maybe plead his case for something. But now he gets into his position at the other side of the dot. Brad Ryder's ready. So is Evan Foley. Foley, of course, wins the draw. He does that often. Losing the stick was Vanderweel. Svensov gives it back to Ryder. Ryder back to the point. And what is...
Behind the play, who
they called it on Wallace.
Or
they called it on Wallace for an intentional delay game for the net being off the moorings, and Frank Schumacher is upset, so he shoved the net and said, fine, you want to see it off the moorings? I'll show you off the moorings.
Who? Yeah, that's a good catch, and yeah, they're going to send Austin Federley in for Port Huron. It looks like, that's Schumacher still trying to say it's coming off easily, and Wallace is trying to be the voice of reason.
Well, again, Wallace likes to push hard off those posts.
Actually, it'll be Young serving instead. Federley's just talking with the official, waiting for an explanation.
Well, no fans at home back when these two played in Port Huron, and it happened a lot in Port Huron on opening night. Again, Ian Wallace loves to shove hard off the post. It's not intentional, but it does happen, and I think the officials, again, Jonathan Paradise,
but you have to
Jim Scarpace had told him, hey, look, you got to keep pace of play.
Yeah, because you're cycling through whether you're never going to know intent, but if it happens there, it really never should.
Right, and that's just it. It should never.
Trevor Babin has not had that problem tonight.
Another good point. Brady, you are on fire, man. This is why I like having you. You can't go to Northern Michigan. You got to stay here.
Oh, now Heinzel's getting at it. He's more worried about getting some shots in than worried about the game. Hey, this Prowler team, there's no other way to put it. No. They are mentally collapsing as bad as I've ever seen it.
They're definitely melting.
Like, this is the definition of a meltdown right now.
Hang on. Someone just touched a lineman, and that is an automatic game misconduct if you touch it. I mean,
this is a
just seeing.
There's no other way to describe it than a meltdown.
But Ian Wallace did a chest bump.
And I will give a Rockers team a year ago probably falls into the trap. The Rockers team now, they're just going to stand by and watch it. Are they actually going to get out of this without a third penalty?
They will. Jim Scarpace is going to let them toe the rope just a little bit. Good face-off win by Ryder. There's a blast. Miguel Diaz, good save there by Wallace. Again, the 5-on-3 will last for 1:20 as the Prowlers were able to clear it down. Here's Milam. Has the puck. Gives it up to Svensov. Svensov just glides into the offensive zone, centers it back. There's Miguel Diaz. Oh, I think that was a hard pass that no one was ready for. And Wallace again knocked the net off the moorings, but he corrected it. There's a shot on Wallace. He makes a save, but Milam picks up his own rebound.
I just keep firing.
That's all you got to do at this point. It's a shooting gallery for Motor City. Svensov back to Miguel Diaz. Let Svensov take a shot. There's a shot by Svensov. Good save. Rebound still loose. And somehow, some way, Tucker Scantleberry is going to clear the puck.
Only for a moment. I like the idea by Babin, and that's the right idea, just the wrong execution.
That's exactly it. Great idea for Trevor Babin. Just wasn't able to find tape to tape. It's going to be icing on the goaltender. Again, Motor City still has that 3-0 lead. But they have 34 seconds left of a 5-on-3, and that will take us to another media timeout. We'll let the kids shovel if they need to, and we'll come right back.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees, no minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just 2 simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
All right, we are back here at Big Boy Arena. Of course, it was President Woodrow Wilson back in 1919 who came with the idea to commemorate the first Armistice Day, saying that to us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride and the heroism of those who died in the country's service with gratitude for victory of both. And of course, later on, right before World War II, it became a federal holiday thanks to Act 52. Of course, it's also the Marine Corps' birthday. Motor City wearing special uniforms. They have everyone's patches all along the sleeves. There's a shot and a goal. Declan Conway getting a power play goal down low. That's his second goal of the year. And come out of the box, Matt Graham.
Sometimes you just need an easy one to get you going. Go in front of the net, good things will happen, and a perfect feed. And all Conway had to do was not miss it, give him a goal, and hopefully that gets 96 going.
That would be nice. It's a lot easier when you can just do a nice little tap-in putt from about 1 foot out.
Well, that's the advantage of having a 5-on-3.
Yes, it is. Motor City can't win the face-off draw. Johnson will dump it in, but either way, Motor City will capitalize off the 5-on-3, getting at least one power play goal. So we have 9 minutes left here in the second period. See, Declan tried to catch me reading on my history and letting people, again, know, here Military Night on Veterans Day, the little history behind it, but don't think so, Declan. You got to try a little bit harder than that. Here's Matt Graham coming out of the box. Everyone's back to 5-on-5 hockey. So Motor City's now 2 for 5. Coming in the other way is TJ Delaney. And Wallace makes the save. Rebound came out and no one had it.
Everyone got a little too excited. Everyone trying to get up in the zone. No one back for that feed to go to.
Well, TJ Delaney again was brought onto this team. He replaced Frankie Moore, who was released today. That was the coinciding move. Here's Finsoff trying to get that pass. That's broken up by Freeborn, excuse me. Here's Wynn.
Vanderweel had Finsoff a hair earlier. He didn't see it in time. By the time he saw it, that window closed just enough to break it up.
Here's Dalton J firing. He hit the water bottle, but did not get the back of the net. Again, one of the quickest shots in the Fed, Dalton J has. Not a guy you want to see at high noon. Finsoff can't get the puck. Dalton J will hold on to it. 7:36 as he just flips it ahead. Babin catches the floater and just holds on to it. Again, after tonight, tomorrow night in Port Huron, 7:05 puck drop at McMorran Place. Of course, Will Wiggleman will have the broadcast for you, and then Motor City has a bye week after that, and then they'll play in Watertown on Wednesday, November 22nd at 7:30 at the Watertown Arena.
Yeah, they'll be spending their Thanksgiving in the Empire State. And again, a lot of road games early for Motor City.
There's a shot. Good save by Wallace Koash firing that one. Puck's going to come out. Yeah, well, remember last year they went to Steve Kustra, his house for Thanksgiving dinner, and immediately went to Delaware after dessert to play the Thunder, as they were able to at least have Thanksgiving here at home, but not with their families. They had it with their hockey family. Here's a Picard breaking it up, slides it to Sim. There's a shot, kick saved by Babin. Centered it, and Picard can't get a stick on it.
So Trevor Babin that's another nice save, and sometimes in games like this, it can be tough to stay in rhythm. You talk to some goalies, they'll say, hey, you're getting a constant barrage of shots. Hey, I'm getting a shot every minute or every 2 minutes. I can get used to it. I can get into the flow of the game. Motor City's had a lot of possession this game, especially here in the second period. That was only the second shot of the period for Port Huron. It can be hard to stay laser focused, stay in rhythm. Trevor Babin's done a nice job of that tonight.
Yeah, you said it was only the second shot of the period. Motor City out shooting Port Huron 15-3. Motor City got it to center, and Rocco DiCostanzo losing his stick. It's going to be brought in, fired high and wide off the stick of Dalton Young. It's going to come all the way out That puck had some sky miles to take advantage of as it goes 200 feet. Centering opportunity, gets broken up, rebound! Oh, DiCostanzo couldn't get his second of the night. That was close.
Couldn't tell if he pushed it wide or if Wallace got just a little bit of the trapper on it.
Here's Colton, back to Suffredini. Fired that one into a crowd, gets deflected towards the boards. 6:02 left here in the second period, 4-0. Thanks to that power play goal by Declan Conway, assisted by Koash and Josh Colton. Koash now has a hat trick in assists. He has 3 tonight, which of course puts him at 6 on the season as he has 9 points, overtaking Pavel Svinsov for top point getter and king of the mountain for the Rockers like he was last season.
Been a really nice player for Motor City, picked up right where he finished off last year.
Giuliano gives it to the far side. Ryder gives it back to JJ, tried to center it, and again, Wallace had to fix the net. There's another shot, goes past Wallace, going to be kept in on the near side. Scantlebury saw the traffic, gives it up to the near side. Motor City desperately trying to get control of the puck. Vanderweel has it, goes behind the net, looking at his options. Gives us one to Miguel Diaz. Wallace makes a save, and coming out with it the other way is Foley. Dropped it off for Scantlebury, and he'll dump it in. Port Huron will change behind the play. Motor City will pick it up. They have an opportunity for a stretch pass and can't find tape to tape. Vanderweel trying to get back to it. Better play there by Brian Parsons to shield for Ian Wallace, who was able to freeze the puck and take us into the last media timeout of the second period. So we'll quickly step away and we'll come right back.
Look at that turkey. Oh, yes.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
All right, we have right now some young fans doing the Texas Roadhouse air guitar. The young man on the far left getting into it. Oh my goodness. Any one of those kids is going to go home with a nice gift card for mom and dad to take the family out to Texas Roadhouse. Want to thank Texas Roadhouse for this opportunity. Have you seen those air guitars?
They are one of the more
sweet.
unique pieces of merch I've seen it and throughout all of sports, but they're one of the cooler ones too. I think they, if you go to anything in the new team store, there's some pretty good looking stuff over there, and not just with the Rockers logo. They have some alternative stuff that's pretty nice.
They do, and the new team store here at Big Boy Arena looks fantastic. Ken Falke, who manages the scorers table and is our supervisor of off-ice officials, he was the one who actually built that. So in the offseason was able to put himself to work, did a tremendous job. Come to Big Boy Arena. Check out the new team store. It's just on the opposite end of the Rocker Kid Zone, right near Slapshots. And of course, if the Rockers win this weekend, which maybe can still happen with a 4-0 lead, we don't know. There's still 25 minutes to play in total. But if the Rockers win on the weekend, on the following Tuesday from 5 to 9, fans with the Fan Saves app can get a free draft upgrade, 20-ounce beer for the price of a 16 at Slapshots. Just got to show it on your phone. Can't keep the puck in on the far side. That was Deck. Deck fighting and trying to keep the puck away from Koash and successfully doing so.
That was desperation. You saw Koash. He was on his horse and nearly beat Deck to a race to a puck. He started quite a few feet behind him.
Well, here's Koash. Cross-ice pass. Milam gets it and just sends it down low. Rocco DiCostanzo offering some forechecking pressure. Parsons is going to come out with it. Gets into the center ice, crossing the timeline, and in the offensive zone. Babin just punches away his backhand. And Motor City, man, why would you try to hit TJ Delaney? That is the second or third time that I've seen a Prowler bounce off of him like rubber and glue.
Yeah, it's not a recipe for success. Hey, you can have all the heart in the world, and I appreciate that, but at some point physics comes into play.
Well, you're a bigger guy. When you play football, did guys bounce off you?
No, because there's a lot of very big men that I played with and against.
Not even in high school?
Maybe a little more then, but.
At high school, you played at what, Marysville?
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, I mean, a little more, but again, you get humbled pretty quickly when you move up, and then all of a sudden you become the smallest guy in the room.
Well, as they always tell people who play college football, I was thinking about playing college football, but they said, hey, you're going up against the number one guy of his team in that state, and we have 100 of those here today. So
absolutely. I
was going to say, you do. You get humbled
It's a
pretty
reality check whenever you go up to a new level.
Yes, it is. Of course, also the game also goes up a couple of notches in speed as well. Here's Finsoff with his speed, fires that one just wide. Coming with it the other way is Freeborn. Dropped it off. Here's Picard. And a nice glove save line drive. Trevor Babin just freezing it again. Picard has 3 goals on the year. And in the 3 games he played entering tonight, was the first goal scorer in all of those games. He was the first goal scorer on opening night in Port Huron 3 weeks ago. Of course, Picard, one of the newer pickups from Matt Graham and company. But again, they have, as you heard Will Wiggleman talk in the intermission, they got some really good forwards. Freeburn, Federley, DeCumbus, Merritt, Picard, Dalton J. They can hit you in waves. They're just having an off night tonight.
Yeah, and Port Huron can be kind of a bipolar team.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they're all clicking, they look like they're a team that can compete with anyone in the Fed, and then you see that they had about that 5 minutes with the penalty, and they let one mistake become 2, and it starts to snowball, and next thing you know, you're down 4-0. That's the one thing Port Huron needs to improve on is consistency and just, hey, never too high, never too low, because it feels like they're the opposite. When they're hitting on all cylinders, boy, look out. But when they get low, they get low.
They do. Of course, we saw this from Port Huron kind of last year, too, in this rivalry. I mean, they got the first couple of games, but then Motor City went on a winning streak in the I-94 rivalry early last season until Port Huron on the back half of the season was really shoring it up before Motor City took, of course, 9 out of 7 to finish last year. There was a shot. Wallace makes the save. Puck on the near side. Still thinking about those 3 stars. Could, as of right now, a good candidate, Scott Koash. Of course, the man who just played the puck, Trevor Babin's a good candidate for it as well. Got to see who's going to be those lasting impression 3 stars. Delaney could be a 3rd star. He's playing well. He's on the forecheck right now. Doing a good job harassing Braden Deck. Deck trying to get it back to center. Gets it to DeCumbus, who carries it in. Here's a quick pass. Oh, good blocker save. Dalton J firing that one. DeCumbus losing it. Oh, Dalton J again. Firing a quick wrister, and Babin stopping it.
And that's the frustrating part. You've had very limited opportunities, so you get another high quality, high probability chance, and Trevor Babin stones you cold. That's what gets frustrating is maybe you get that one. All right, 3 goals is somewhat doable in a period, but Trevor Babin has stood tall.
Trevor Babin working on something special so far tonight. He only has one of those special moments. It came last year in front of Grandma Babin. Let's see if he can make history repeat itself tonight. Miguel Diaz looking around. Again, one of the 4 players who changed his number. And the reason why, he hates how number 18 looks, and he's a fan of Stranger Things. Here's Finsoff. Goes, stops at the top of the circle, gives it up to the near side. Right or down low, and Vanderweel can't put it through.
The nice pass, just a little off.
But again, the hero of Stranger Things is 11. He was a fan of the show on Netflix, so he changed his number to 11. Said it looks more slimming, which you can believe, but Port Huron has to tag up. A couple of players were off sides. Johnson will settle it down with 20 seconds left in the period. Scantleberry dropped it to Federley. Babin makes the save. Puck out to the near side, controlled by Milam. 10 seconds left. Drops it off to Ryder. He can hold on to it and just kill the remaining seconds, and that's what he'll do. Miguel Diaz just is going to hold on to the puck. That'll do it for the second period here at Big Boy Arena. Motor City has a big 4-0 lead. They jumped out to a big lead in the first period with 3 goals, only getting 1 here in the second period, but 2 of those goals of the 4 have come on the power play. What did you see different from Motor City in between periods from the first and the second? They still look pretty consistent. The scoring chances, though, kind of went down.
Yeah, but they held the possession for a while. I mean, the ice was very much tilted to our right. The biggest thing, and this isn't so much of a just for today, this is going back to last year, and when Motor City struggled, they didn't fall into the antics that Port Huron last year was able to goat them into. And some of those guys that were there last year no longer with the team. This team seems to have a more level head. But they, for lack of a better word, is they let Port Huron make their own mistakes, and they let them get in their own way and just stood back and watched. Said, all right, hey, you and the refs can have a beep. We're just stand back and be the beneficiaries. And they've let it happen. Trevor Babin's done a nice job. There have been a few other guys on the ice that have done a really nice job. I think Jamie Milam, Pavel Svinsov, both are guys that we're saying their names a lot. They might not be getting a ton on the scorebook, but they're impacting the game. I just think they've done a nice job staying out of their own way and taking advantage when Port Huron lets them.
Yeah, and again, we saw Port Huron as the period went on, temperatures starting to rise. Ian Wallace was going a little crazy. A couple other players, including Frank Schumacher, also getting that temperature rising. It's going to be interesting to see if cooler heads do prevail in the third period or if it gets gooned up a little bit before going back to Port Huron. But, you just never know. And the thing is, one goal could just change your whole attitude. And Babin right now has stopped 21 shots. But there's been a couple that Port Huron's had that Babin had to pull a rabbit out of a hat to stop.
Yeah, I think the message, if you're Gordy in the locker room right now, is we have a game tomorrow in Port Huron.
Yeah.
No, don't go into prevent mode. Don't go into a shell. But you can play a little more passively, wait for the perfect pass, and just try to get these next 20 minutes over with so you can get ready, go up tomorrow, try to have a nice 6-point weekend.
Yeah, that would be great to get 6 points. As of right now, Motor City's on its way to getting 3 points thanks to a 4-0 lead after 2. We will step aside. We will come back with the out-of-town scoreboard in just a few minutes. You are watching Motor City Rockers hockey on the Motor City Rockers YouTube page.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
That turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Go Live Sportscast.
You want to feel all right on a weekend night?
Old-time hockey is back.
Come see the Motor City Rockers. They kick ice. Big Boy Arena in Fraser's the only place where the beer is cold and the ice is hot.
With the up-close action of real Detroit hockey.
Everybody's going to leave their seat. Get your tickets now and bring the whole family. Old-time hockey, new family fun. The Motor City Rockers. They kick ice.
All right, welcome back to Big Boy Arena. I'm Ben Salagi, and of course we're here at the Meijer broadcast booth. And, well, at Meijer you can get more of the things you want most, and more importantly, you can get them for less. Visit any one of Meijer's 123 stores all across Michigan for all your home, garden, and grocery needs. Meijer, why pay more? Well, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Right now, Carolina and Binghamton. Carolina, as we said in the first intermission, they jumped out to a 2-0 lead thanks to Dawson Baker and Roman Kramer. But then in the second period, the first 2 goals went to Binghamton and Tyson Kirkby and Nikita Ivishkin. But Carolina got one back. Jacob Schnapp wearing number 6 for the Thunderbirds just before the period ending, getting that 3-2 lead for the Thunderbirds. Of course, getting outshot, though, Binghamton leading that 30-21. We also then go across to the Blue Ridge Mountains, where they are going to start the third period probably shortly, and that game's gotten a little more interesting. It was tied at 1 after 1. Kyle Stevens got the first goal, a shorthanded goal by Yanni Liriakos. Say that 5 times fast, but the second period, Mississippi built a lead. Hugo Koch made it 2-1. Justin Daly tied it back up at 2 on the power play, but Joachim Nielsen, just with about a minute left, got a power play goal to retake the lead for Mississippi. 3-2 over the Blue Ridge Bobcats at the Apex Center. And they are, even though, well, actually, no, they just updated it. So shots on goal favor Mississippi 35-32 as well, as a 3-2 lead. Again, at the Apex Center, and the Apex Center actually just got their liquor license today. So,
well, it's a good time for it. I mean, better late than never. And that is probably the most interesting literal barn in the Fed.
And why is that, in your opinion?
It's a rodeo.
It is.
Barn that they put ice in. I mean, it's every other place now in the Fed is at least supposed to be a hockey rink, and out in Wytheville, it's a converted rodeo barn that has been made into a hockey rink. So hopefully it works out, and hopefully the people out in Virginia enjoy it.
Well, do you want to carry the last game for us that just got underway, or?
I mean, there's not much to say. Columbus and Baton Rouge about. They dropped the puck a little while ago. They're in the first period. It's all zeros down in the Bayou.
It is, but man, Columbus just pouring it on Baton Rouge, out shooting the Zydeco 19-7. I think Baton Rouge, I know we talked about it in the offseason. I think they have an interesting name. It's a music style that's native only to the Mississippi region.
Now, who's your favorite Zydeco artist?
And that's what you said the last
exactly.
time. Like, that's what you said the last time.
Like, at least everyone's heard of jazz before, or the blues.
Well, there is that. But, I mean, coming here from Motown, we have a Motown sound, of course.
Yeah, and everyone's heard of Motown.
That is fair. This is why I love you,
I'll go across the country. I'll go to Arizona. I'll go down to Baton Rouge. They've heard of Motown. I don't know how many people up here have heard of Zydeco. I know I didn't until heard the name.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, you're right. And the funny thing is, too, Baton Rouge taking just some really bad penalties. David Alessin and Adamo Alessin both going into the penalty box.
They're all listed as the same time, so there must have been some fireworks down in Baton Rouge.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because you have an instigator to David, a roughing to Adamo, and then Hunter Ryan said, I had enough of this. I'm going to drop some gloves, and fought David Alessin. So that's how it all kind of happened. But, yeah, as you said, it's a 0-0 game out there at the Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge. Here, of course, at Big Boy Arena, it is 4-0 in favor of Motor City. Motor City out shooting Port Huron 17-11. Of course, the Rockers have 2 power play goals. The first one started the scoring today. Jamie Milam on the near side of the net. Beautiful pass by Danny Vanderweel. And Milam just went top shelf, beat Ian Wallace, and then even strength the next 2 goals. Rocco DiCostanzo was able to deflect the puck into the net off a Declan Conway pass. And then Nick Miguel Diaz just fired an incredible shot on the near side boards that no one thought he was going to shoot. Ian Wallace didn't think he was going to shoot it. And he beat Ian Wallace top side for that 3-0 lead. And, of course, the only goal scored in the second period. Declan Conway finishing up just a 1-foot putt, getting a birdie to make it 4-0.
Beautiful pass by Koash.
It was. I mean,
he put it right on the tape. All he had to do was not mess it up. And, hey, you put yourself in the position to receive that pass.
Well, that's the thing, too, because both those guys last year, as everyone knows, they didn't make an SP team. They came out of SP camp. They came to Motor City at the end of October. Immediately clicked, immediately had instant chemistry. It didn't matter who was going to be that third guy on their line. It was Dylan Johnson at one point, and then those 3 became lethal until Dylan went back to the SP. He hasn't come back since. He's going to stay there for a while, kind of like Brian Wilson, the goaltender from Danbury, very successful in the SP this year. But then, of course, the 2 guys the chemistry continued to rise, and they actually formed a great pair with Connor Inger, who's also in the SP because of how he's been able to be that third guy on the line. And that's the thing that we kind of talked about in the second period is these guys, the chemistry is still there despite going through their third line partner in about a month.
Well, it's a lot of plug and play right now, and that's because they have a lot of familiar faces on the roster.
Well, that's a great point. It's a point we didn't get to on the pregame show. And again, Brady, that's why you're a professional and you are really good at the segues. I think we talked about it in the pregame show. People did not hear the pregame show, unfortunately, just yet. But Motor City, out of the 19 guys that they had, 16 were all returning players from last year.
Well, and that says a couple things. One, it says that you like the team you had at the end of last year. The playoffs didn't go the way they wanted, but they were a pretty hot team going into the playoffs. And 2, it says that this is an organization that's been built up that guys want to be here. Yeah. You go look. It's hard to keep that many people in minor league hockey at most levels. And to keep that consistency, you already have a leg up. I mean, why has Carolina been successful? Why has Columbus been successful? Because for the past 3-4 years, you know who their top 2 lines are going to be. You know usually who's going to be in net. Why has Port Huron had some success? Well, because their top line's basically been the same for 4 or 5 years now.
It really has. The continuity has been great. We will see how that continuity goes in the third period in just a few minutes. We'll step aside. We'll have the third period for you right here on the Rockers YouTube page in just a few moments.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
That turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Go Live Sportscast.
You want to feel all right on a weekend night?
Old Time Hockey is back.
Come see the Motor City Rockers. They kick ice. Big Boy Arena in Frazier's the only place where the beer is cold and the ice is hot.
With the up-close action of real Detroit hockey.
Everybody's going to leave their seat. Get your tickets now and bring the whole family. Old time hockey, new family fun. The Motor City Rockers, they kick ice.
Give yourself a raise. Open a checking account that can pay you nearly $400 a year. Genius High Yield Checking now earns 5.25% APY plus debit rewards. No fees, no minimum balance. Automatically get cash back into your account with just 2 simple requirements. Enroll in e-statements and make 10 or more debit transactions of at least $5 during the month. It's that simple. It's that genius. Open your account today. Visit genesiscu.org.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
All right, welcome back to Big Boy Arena here in Fraser, Michigan. Motor City has a big 4-0 lead. One last little fun fact about Veterans Day. Back in 1971, it was not celebrated in November. It was October 25th, 1971, and it was quite apparent at the time that the commemoration of the day was a matter of historic and patriotic significance to a great number of citizens in America. So on September 20th, 1975, President Gerald R. Ford signed a public law, 9794, which returned the annual observance of Veterans Day to its original date of November 11th, beginning in 1978. So there you go. Fun little trivia for you here on Veterans Day. Of course, it's military night here at Big Boy Arena, seeing a lot of veterans in the crowd. Always a good thing, of course. Again, the special uniforms. Motor City is wearing the urban camo uniforms with the service patches down each side of their sleeves. Should probably auction those suckers off after the game, you would think.
I believe they are. And I believe they're going to be a hot ticket item as well. They look pretty good.
They look great.
For being specialty uniforms. Those are on the better end of what I've seen.
100%. Of course, Grand Rapids, the Griffins, had a nice uniform they showed on their social media channels as we are underway here in the third period. Scantlebury getting hit off the puck by Milam, picked up, fired wide. Kept in, though, on the near side by Deck.
It looks like you're going to get one last burst from Port Huron. They're going to try to sneak a goal in here in the first few minutes. If you can hold them off till about the 17, 16-minute mark, then I think you'll be all right.
Well, people are hoping Svinsoff can get a goal. Their fan saves app can get 6 free boneless wings. Here's he going through the offensive zone, dropped it off. Ryder's just going to give a hard pass back behind the net. Svinsoff will pick it up. Gets hit along the wall. Puck still loose there. Deck couldn't get to it. There's Wynn firing a shot wide, picked up by Rotundi. Rotundi tried to center it, and an easy save in front of Ian Wallace. One thing that was really interesting between Ian Wallace and Makar Sokolov is their save percentage entering tonight was an identical 89.2%. And if Port Huron won in regulation, their goals against average would have been an easy 4 for both guys. So it doesn't matter who you have in net, you're going to get the same stats.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to something we talked about in the pregame, that Port Huron has not been able to find that lockdown netminder that they had at the start of their existence, and they need to figure out who that guy is, because it feels like they keep trying. I'll give Matt Graham credit. He doesn't just go, all right, we're going to ride with this guy. He keeps rotating guys in, trying to see what sticks, but so far over the last few years, nothing has.
Yeah, and especially last year. Last year near the end of the season, it was just like, hey, buddy, have you played goalie in a roller hockey league? Oh, you have? Hey, why don't you become a Prowler? I mean, they were kind of getting that desperate. They would almost pick anyone right off the street near McMorran Place to play goaltender, it seemed like. But still, can earn a spot. Makar Sokolov, a guy from Omsk, Russia, has a guy he's talented, just maybe not as talented as Wallace. And when Wallace is on, he's been good. Let's be honest. And even on opening night on the 21st in Port Huron, he was peppered. And if it wasn't for him, that game would have been out of control. And he's just, again, having an off night. Here's a stretch pass intended for Giuliano. Schumacher broke it up. Dalton Jay tried to get it back to Graham. That got broken up as well. Motor City dumps it on in. There's a quick shot. Fired there by Makema. Long rebound comes out. Colton cycles it back through to Svensov. He's going to get rubbed off the puck there by Parsons. Good pass to Scantlebury, and he's going to get hit off the puck. Man, Motor City almost playing perfect in all their spacing so far today. Just bailing at the right time, shading a man at the right time, and getting back on time as well.
Well, they're possessing the puck, and right now they can be as patient as they want to be. The clock is their friend. They've survived the first 3 minutes. I mean, you don't like to see that.
No, Brad Ryder going at it with Sam Merritt. Merritt just took him down rodeo style. No, that's not Merritt. That's Scantlebury.
You have two guys on the.
Yeah, you're right. There's a second. Well, Merritt's the other one. So there you go. And again, the funny thing is the Motor City guys did not even do anything.
And I think that's what Brad Ryder's saying. Saying I got pulled down from behind. Why am I going to the box? I will just say it's tough to get the boys fired up down 4 with 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
I guess.
You saw right there, Sam Merritt dropped the gloves.
Pulled him down from behind.
Hog-tied him from behind. I don't know how. He didn't even accept the fight. He just got jumped and held on, and now Miguel Diaz and Scantlebury will join. So.
And I like this from the officials. Send as many guys as you can. It's a 4-0 hockey game. Keep order. Don't let this devolve anymore.
Well, no, and here's the best part. Jonathan Paradise and Jim Scarpace, they're talking about it at the scores table. You might see just both of them coming off the ice to kind of cool down, but Motor City could still maybe come out of this with a power play.
I'll be
having a lengthy
curious
discussion.
what they decide and if maybe they give someone a 10 or a game. Because it's I don't know if you can call it fighting.
Yeah, there it is.
When you pull someone down from behind. Now, I didn't see what preceded it.
No, he just hog-tied him.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if this is even Steven. And unless you get someone for Motor City as a third man in, that might be what they're talking about.
Well, so hang on. Coming out of the box is a player. Looks like Ryder came out of the box.
Yeah, because he's the one that they pulled down, correct?
Right. Yes, that was the guy who got pulled down initially by Sam Merritt. So, again, and these guys have done a lot of our games last year. Jonathan Paradise and Jim Scarpace are probably some of the most consistent, fair officials that we have in the league.
I just want to see what they come out with. They're putting 4 up for Merritt,
yeah,
which makes sense. So are they going to get the other two 5 for fighting and then a double minor? Yeah.
It's got to be that, yeah. And that makes sense. I mean, you have Miguel Diaz in there. You have Scantlebury in there. They fought afterwards. They tussled a little bit. And then, yeah, a double minor would make sense for Sam Merritt. So,
and now if you're Coach Gordy, hey, you have something you want to work on the power play, now's the time to try it out.
Well, Motor City already 2 for 5 today with the man advantage. Koash and Brian Parsons are not going to drop gloves, folks. It's not going to happen. Parsons may be talking to him, but
I don't think either of those guys want to drop gloves.
No. Well, it is. It's going to be a 4-minute power play, a Genesis Credit Union power play here for the Motor City Rockers. Mike Wynn drops it back off. Carrying it in is Koash. There's a shot, firing it wide. Long rebound. Mike Wynn's going to chase it. Of course, anytime Motor City's on a power play, brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Learn how Genesis can put more money in your pocket and become one of its 210,000 members. And learn how they can help you save money today by going to GenesisCU.com. Excuse me. Here's Wynn with a shot. That's going to go in off a deflection. That's Derek McAma who put it through.
Ian Wallace never had a chance with that one. It hit. I think it went between the legs and then just kind of like a ground ball hopped in. He never saw it. He never had a chance to.
Well, that's a big goal.
Third power play goal of the night for Motor City.
That is the third power play goal. You are absolutely correct. And even though we're well past the point, let's do the insurance read, because at this point, it's an insurance goal. Ronald Shocker, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, located in Shelby Township, just off Van Dyke Road. And he and his team have been protecting and providing Michigan families with auto, home, and life and health insurance since 2016. Find out how they can help you with your insurance needs today. Give them a call for a quote. So there you go. One of them goes down. So the second one still going to be served there by Merritt. So McAma will get the goal, as he should. Mike Wynn gets the assist. That's Mike Wynn's second assist of the year. He now has 3 points. Derek McAma, of course, getting a goal. He now has 2 on the year. Motor City still has 1:20 left of a man advantage. Almost just as good as a 5-minute major. There's a high stick, and Heinzel goes down. And here we go. Dante Suffredini dropping the gloves. He's going at it. Throwing some punches is Dante, and wrestling down Evan Foley to the ground. So here's the next question. Is Heinzel bleeding or not?
Well, at this point in the night, I don't think it matters too much. That high stick, I don't think was intentional. It looked like he was trying to hit the puck, and instead, unfortunately, caught Heinzel.
Yeah.
And it caught him pretty flush.
It did. That's, again, going to take a look. And, well, you know it's a rivalry. These two teams.
Let's see, he's moving around. All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't see anything on the ice, so.
Nope. He's still checking.
Maybe.
Well, I'm not seeing anything where the officials are. That's where he was. Good camera work by our crew. I saw on that close-up. He didn't look like he was cut. But either way, the penalty boxes are filling up. Well, there's 3 Port Huron players, 2 Rockers. Ken and crew have a lot to get caught up on at the scorer's table.
Hey, if you're Motor City, you're up 5-0. Put it in Cruz, get to the finish line, don't do anything dumb.
That's
the point in the game you're at. Hey, you have proven on tonight you are decidedly better than Port Huron. Just don't let anything tonight affect tomorrow.
I think still temperatures might boil over tomorrow.
Are they going to do a center ice face-off?
Yep.
Why is it still 5-on-4?
And Austin Federle is still saying, hey, what's going on here? You put your hand up for the high stick.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a break for Motor. I don't understand how there wasn't a slash there.
No.
Because whether it's intentional or not or a high stick, you're responsible for your stick. So intent has nothing to do with it. And it was pretty clear that you saw Heinzel take a stick blade into the face area. I think the Prowlers have a little bit of a beef there.
That's accurate, because you're right. You are in control of your stick at all times. That is your responsibility as a player. Well, Schumacher gets it to the half wall. Ryder will pick it up. Ryder drops it off to Vanderweel to the far side. Svinsoff back to Vanderweel to the near side now. Milam fires it. It's going to be blocked off the leg of Young. There's a shot on the near side by Milam, kind of like where he got a goal in the first period, but that was easily saved by Wallace. Ryder carrying it in. Milam playing tic-tac-toe with Vanderweel. They'll now switch. We have an interference call.
I think they're going to send Schumacher.
No, it's Ryder.
Oh, I saw him going to pick up his stick, so I just kind of assumed, but you know what? I like in this spot officials tightening it up, just saying, guys, there's no reason for this to escalate any further.
No. I mean, Ryder's going to go in the box.
And that might be a bit of a makeup call for not giving 2 for the high stick.
And let's be honest, Port Huron hasn't had a lot to cheer about. There's something to cheer about right there. Motor City, Brad Ryder going to the box for 2 minutes for interference. So in 5 seconds, Motor City will be on a penalty kill. So, of course, anytime Motor City's on a penalty kill, those are brought to you by Insight Healthcare. Not feeling yourself? Well, visit one of Insight's locations all across southeastern Michigan for your medical needs and get some insight into your health today. And again, Port Huron is tied with Watertown for 10 power play goals. Again, Will Wiggleman saying that a lot of those have come 5-on-3, but again, you got to cash them in. Doesn't matter who's on, how many people are on the ice. The fact you're still scoring says a lot. Here's Johnson with the puck. Has Schumacher on the near side. Schumacher back to the far side. Here's Picard with a shot. Can't get it. That's just wide. Schumacher will keep it in. Motor City will get an opportunity to clear it, and they do. They'll also change out. Fresh rockers are on the ice. Vanderweel, Svinsoff, Miguel Diaz, and it looks like Colton is your 4. Federle has a minute left in the man advantage. Vanderweel stalks. Federle goes past him. Good swipe at there by Colton. Jay picks it up, tries to center, going to be booted away by Svinsoff. And here's the hockey IQ we talked about. Pavel not only held onto the puck a little bit, waited for his opportunity to clear it, and made it look easy.
And it's something Motor City's done well all night long. They've pressured the puck, and Port Huron has very, very rarely been able to get into their system at all.
Yeah, they've not. So a second power play opportunity for Port Huron. The first time, they didn't really register many shots. Again, Motor City doing a good job getting another clear here. 21 seconds left until 21 is out of the box. Federle to Graham on the near side. Graham will carry it in, try to give it to Jay. That's kind of broken up, centered it. No one's home. Scantlebury has the puck. Brad Ryder is going to be coming out in a couple of seconds, and we are back officially to 5-on-5. That's 2 power play pelts for Motor City today. And that second power play in the league at 31% is going to take a dive. It's like when you don't turn in your math homework, you get a 0. That test score that you got a 90 on becomes an 80 really, really fast. There's a shot on Wallace, makes 2 saves. Puck goes to the far side. When I was growing up, that happened to me a lot. I never turned in my homework. so I know how that works.
Getting a little rowdy on the far side. Fans are staying. They like what they see.
Yeah, here's Conway, just dumps it in. He and Koash will take a breather on the ice. Delaney and Makema will replace.
Oh, I thought they were going to let him get away with the high stick, and it took him a minute, but they caught it.
Yep. Speaking of coming away, Sam Merritt's going to leave the box. So that's only going to leave a couple of players in the box now. The box is emptying out, but we'll take a quick break, and we'll come right back.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
That turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
All right, welcome back to Big Boy Arena. Motor City has added a goal in the second and third period. Derek Makema getting the one in the third period on the power play, assisted by Mike Wynn. And Motor City is out shooting Port Huron 2-0 here in the third period, 29-21 overall. Again, Trevor Babin working on a special night tonight. And if he's not going to see a lot of time on attack, he might be getting a start.
He's had to make a couple really nice saves.
Like that one, right on cue.
And the fans do love it. And again, he's had to stay focused and not a lot of rhythm.
Oh, Wynn tried to fire that one just too high. Delaney will keep it in on the pitchfork as he sends it down low. 11 minutes left here in the third period. Motor City saw a little bit of a couple of new players come on the ice, of course, with a lead. Saw one shift by Elias Thompson. Got a couple of shifts in Elmira last weekend, but his shifts have been few and far between. And the Let's Go Rockers chant starting to fill Big Boy Arena here with 10:34. Miguel Diaz. Oh, that was deflected by Svinsoft just wide. Going to be shot from the outside by Colton, paddled away by Wallace, out of play. 10:21 left here in the third period. Last season, Trevor Babin had one shutout. That was against Columbus in the first of the three-game set. And it was against Christian Pavlos, who, of course, is now the main goaltender in Blue Ridge. It was a 5-0 win on that night. Motor City has a 5-0 lead tonight. History looking good to repeat itself. There's Colton firing again. Picard blocking the first one. The second one will be frozen by Wallace. Have the D2 playoffs started yet, or is that going to start next week?
The Alex Johnson, real quick, is. Fans are giving it to Johnny, and he's still talking.
There's going to be a fight.
Someone wants to go. I don't know.
Elias Thompson's ready. He's ready. He and Scantleberry, I think, are going to go. He's trying to pick a fight right now.
He's egging him on.
Yes, he is. Scantleberry said, "I'm not interested." Here's Colton, just fires it, goes over the net.
It's funny how when the big guys come out, sometimes the chests aren't as puffed out as far.
The mouths get a little more quiet. The shoulders get a little more slunken in. Yeah. And that's why Elias has a role on this team. He's a great modern enforcer. Had a Gordie Howe hat trick last year, did Elias Thompson. And he just threw him down. Now Matt Graham trying to defend. And, man, Scantleberry wants nothing to do with it. Matt Graham doing what a coach and a captain does, trying to stand up for a player. But, man, Thompson is not going to let Tucker Scantlebury's first game back to be a comfortable one after especially what he did on the hog tie to Brad Ryder earlier.
Well, it looks like they sent out number 8 and said, send a message, and I don't care if you go to the box or not. Now there's still words being exchanged. I think the Prowlers are taking exception to what Thompson's doing, and now they're sending Graham off.
Yeah, Graham kept egging on Koash, and yeah, Matt Graham's going to get some time off. And Elias Thompson's telling him, hey, you want to come over and spend time here? Elias wants to fight. Elias is egging him on.
Still more John. Okay, I understand, yeah. That probably wasn't the cleanest play. That was not above board by Elias Thompson.
No.
But, and now they take Federle?
Well, Federle.
Or it looks like, yeah, they're taking Federle.
Federle wants a fight bad. I don't know who he's trying to call out. Some of our younger Rocker fans are egging him on too, but.
Well, it's funny. Number 8 goes in the box, and all of a sudden those chests puff back up a little more. All right, well, now I know I have some room to work with. Now I'll get it out. But, again, Elias Thompson went out there for one reason, and it was to send a message. And probably was not the cleanest play. And, no, I wouldn't like it if I was a Prowlers fan either. But if you look at everything that happened before, there was a reason why Thompson was sent out to send a message.
Yes.
And it's kind of the tit for tat. And, again, I go back to you're up 5-0. If you're Motor City, I get Elias Thompson. That's his role. But nobody else needs to participate in this.
No. I got
That's why you have number 8 on the roster. It's for moments like this.
My next question, could TJ Delaney fight? He's 6'6", 220. Elias Thompson, 6 foot 220. So you might have 2 enforcers. I feel bad for Russ. He's just trying to get information. And Johnson, or excuse me, that's not Johnson. That's Federle, and Federle's been ejected. Russ is just trying to understand what's going on.
No, he's gone.
And, yeah, Russ, love you, buddy. That's a lot.
And somehow we end up with 5-on-5. Nothing goes on the scoreboard, so
yeah.
I'm gonna be curious.
So it could be abusive official because Elias Thompson's in there for 2 minutes for roughing. So Federle's ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct, and we have another fight here. Scott Koash and
He's not dropping the gloves.
Koash ducks, and Heinzel's going to get him again. Koash turtling, and Heinzel gave him a couple of good ones.
Koash didn't drop the gloves.
Nope.
He was smarter than that. Again, chests get puffed out a little more when number 8's in the box.
They're just going to kick Adam Heinzel out. He's trying to take on the entire Rockers bench. It's going to spill over until tomorrow. We didn't think it was going to happen. I think, we now have a definite answer.
They put Koash in the box. I mean, I think that's just to try to keep cooler heads for prevailing. I don't think that's going to happen, but
no.
I think a lot of Motor City, again, the Elias Thompson thing, I get why it happened, but that kind of re-sparked everything, and now it's exploding.
It is.
But just need to get this 9-18 off the board. Motor City has proven they are the better team tonight, no doubt about it. Just get this over with, collect your 3 points, get ready for what's probably going to be a brawl up in Port Huron.
And I think it might be a brawl right when the puck drops.
Well, and that's how I hope it's handled tomorrow is, all right, your guy goes out, our guy goes out. Let's drop the gloves, let's deal with it, and then let's play some hockey.
Yeah, you hope that's the case. We will find out tomorrow. It looks like Motor City's going on the power play because they're going to dictate where the puck's going to be dropped. They're going to choose the far side dot. That was selected by Derek Makema. But, man, it is the I-94 rivalry. We have the sign in our locker room for a reason. And it's not because we stole it. It was earned, and these teams do not like each other. I can tell you that much right now. My goodness.
So I'm guessing a 2 and a 10 to Heinzel and just 2 to
Graham?
Or no, 2 to Koash.
It's got to be.
But then why is it 5 on 4? Shouldn't 2 go up for both then and have someone serve it for Port Huron? There you go. Picard's going to serve. So it should be 4 on 4. Unless it's a double minor?
Well, no, they're going to send Dalton Young in there instead.
All right, let's see.
I was going to say, let's see what Ken and company have written down.
I don't know if they've
table.
put it all in yet.
No, it's a lot. Again, 3 players on each side. But
not been updated yet.
Motor City has a Genesis Credit Union power play again. Find out how you can be one of the 210,000 members at genesiscu.com and see how they can help put money in your pocket. Miguel Diaz gave it to Makema. Good forechecking pressure there by Merritt. Merritt still has a little vinegar left in him. He got into a little bit of a tussle a few minutes ago, so you don't know if something could happen again. Miguel Diaz to Milam. Milam fires a hard shot. That one rebound and good save by Wallace. And now Johnson, overly gratuitous, pushing Makema outside of the crease.
It was a nice job by Wallace to see that puck through traffic. He wasn't seeing the puck well early. Seems like lately he's been seeing it a little better.
He has.
It was a nice job by 41.
He settled. I mean, it was an ugly first period, but after that, he settled in very nicely. I will give Ian Wallace credit where credit is due. The young man from West Islip, New York, has, again, it was a very, very bad first period. But again, only allowing 2 goals after that, that's not bad. So here's Wynn at the far side, gets it into the circle. It's going to get hit. Puck's going to come to the near side. Schumacher couldn't clear it, though. Kept in nicely there by Colton. Oh, good play there by Wynn to keep this one in. Colton fires. Why did they stop the play for? They're going to call a hand pass? Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's a hand pass. Face off will come outside the zone. Don't necessarily know if it was a hand pass, but
so
you could argue.
The last set of penalties, it was roughing to both Heinzel and Koash, and Heinzel got an extra 2 for unsportsmanlike.
Well, there you go. It's going to be interesting how the league office sorts any of this out for tomorrow. We don't know if it's going to be full rosters either. We're going to have to pay close attention to that as well.
Feels like this clock is just barely dripping away.
Yep. Very, very slow. Mike Window gets hit. A hand goes up. Scantlebury might be going to the box. Yeah. Scantlebury is going to go to the box. He's getting escorted. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for 23 seconds. Nope. Ryder just negated that. Never mind.
And again, the officials are trying to keep as much order as they can. The leash is almost non-existent at this point.
No.
And I agree with how the officials are handling it. They have lost all benefit of the doubt. It is one thing and to the box, a second thing, you're gone.
So Alex Johnson just getting...
And again, the result of this game's long been decided.
Yes. The margin of victory is yet, but yes, the actual game has been decided for a while. We have Makema, Giuliano, Miguel Diaz, Milam, and Conway, your 5. 21 seconds left in the power play till we'll have 5-on-5 hockey. Motor City has the puck. Giuliano, good bank pass to Milam. Probably the 2 oldest members in the Fed on the ice right now. Good shot. Wallace kicks it away. Milam. Oh, excuse me, that's Miguel Diaz. Apologies. Centers it in front. Giuliano!
And one. Took a stick up near the face and still finished. I don't know if I've ever seen that. They're sending Johnny off, I believe.
Yeah. Alex Johnson says, why am I being sent off? And they said, you're done. Yep, Johnny's going bye-bye.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Well,
he scored as he was slashed.
Yes.
That was impressive.
Oh, a lot of things. Oh, that's the second goal here at home for Jonathan Giuliano. And both of them were impressive for different reasons.
Are they looking for some chiclets?
I think they're looking for teeth. I think they're definitely looking for teeth down there. Well, there's a good look at Ken Falke right there. Good shot, guys. He's getting his work tonight. He's earning his paycheck. He's had to manage that scoring table in a big way, and I think they found some teeth. Nope, they're trying to. Well, maybe they did. No. Okay,
Oh.
I got to chirp Dr. Fox a little bit. It looked like she had a metal detector as she was sweeping on the ice. But Jonathan Giuliano made it 6-0. Gets 2 goals here at home. He might have 2 goals and missing maybe 1 or 2 teeth.
It feels like we're getting like 10 seconds off this clock every like 2 minutes of real time. So they just sent Alex Johnson away. They're not going to put anything on the board.
Nope. I think the goal is enough. Well, technically, the goal would have wiped out the delay call, so it would have made sense. If your hand goes up for the the high stick, the goal negates it.
But then what do you do with the guy in the box?
Well, that's fair. I'm just trying to rationalize.
I just think they told Alex Johnson, just you're being a disturber, get out, and we'll deal with it. You can have your fun tomorrow.
Wonder who the officiating crew is going to be tomorrow.
I don't envy them.
I do not envy them either. But again, I got to give Jonathan Paradise and Jim Scarpace have done a great job tonight. They've been fair. They've held as much order as they could. And even when things could be escalated, they're just telling guys, hey, hit the showers. You're done. So
now if I'm Motor City, I'm just playing a puck possession game. I'm just circling the wagons, trying to get this darn clock down to 3 zeros.
It would be nice. It'd also be nice, though, if maybe Pavel Svinsov gets that goal so you can get some free boneless wings. I had a call prepared for it and everything.
They just gave Johnson a game misconduct.
Okay.
Doesn't say why, he just says game misconduct.
Well, there's a shot on Babb, and he makes the save. Picard's going to swipe at it again. It's going to be wide. Schumacher holding on to it. Dumps that one way behind, and one of the guys who fought earlier, Suffredini, gets it to the half wall. Here's DiCostanzo, gives it up to the near side. Vanderweel's just going to flip it ahead to the far side corner, and Motor City will get new skaters. Parsons shoves it ahead to Freeborn. Again, Freeborn coming back from the SP. There's a shot. Good kick saved there by Babin. And Motor City has numbers. Here's Giuliano again. JJ centers it, and good save there by Wallace.
Ran out of real estate. Took a little too long to make a decision.
Well, it was a good ooh, hang on. Hang on. Brian Parsons just slammed his stick. I think Parsons is trying to pick a fight with Makema.
I don't know about that one. You don't see Parsons drop the glove all too often.
No, but he's chirping. He got escorted, but he's going to stay on. You're right. Parsons is one of the more, I guess, gentle hockey players. Maybe gentle or quiet hockey players.
I like the way he plays, though. He's a nice defenseman. He's usually in position. He won't wow you with points, but as a defensive defenseman, he does a nice job, usually in the area he needs to be. He's kind of one of those guys that you don't notice him because he just does his job.
Speaking of doing your job, Koash cashing in 7-0. Number 4 on the year for Scott Koash, and he'll flick the wrist as he goes down the celebration line with 5:07 left on the clock. Well, 3 goals in the first, 3 goals and fighting in the third. Only one, and I say only 1 goal in the second period. Well, Schumacher gives it up to the far side, flicked ahead there by Sim. Sim's going to hold on to it. Gives this one up to Young. Back to Schumacher. That bench is looking pretty slim as we look down over our noses at Port Huron side. But the penalty boxes are empty.
First time it's been like that in a while.
Yes, it has. 4:28. Can't really make out what the crowd is saying. Can you make that out? I don't know what they're saying. Vanderweel carries it in. It's going to be taken all the way to the end line, gets hit. Svinsov tried to get to the puck. Suffredini in position. It's going to be centered. Oh, Svinsov just pushed that one wide. Here's Suffredini down to the slot. Makema back to Suffredini at the point. Suffredini looking. Drops it off to Makema. Makema! Oh, that got deflected. Slash telling us how many points are on the scoreboard. Appreciate it, buddy. 7-0. That's another new addition this year. You can come see Slash. He's a Yeti wearing a Rockers jersey. Hangs out in the kids zone and then walks the concourse. Gets into blow-up sword battles with the kids.
Been pretty popular with the youngins.
He has. Still liked your idea, though. And I'm gonna let people behind the curtains of the front office a little bit. In the offseason, Brady, you had a brilliant idea for a mascot.
I don't know. Slash turned out pretty nice. Mine might. I wanted a bat, but
you did.
But I thought, but Slash is a pretty nice one. He can be menacing, but he's not scary.
Well, that's just it, right? It's a good option, but yeah, you wanted to name the bat Ozzy. Anyone that knows rock and roll history knows why. And we'll have another penalty here. Well, again, who's in the middle of it? Tucker Scantlebury. Maybe Scantlebury needs to see Elias Thompson again in the waiting room. Uh-oh. Scantlebury and Declan Conway talking a little bit, but either way, it looks like with 2:49 left, we do have a media timeout. We will step away really quick, and we will get things right in order here in just a few minutes.
To all the comforters, we're here for you. We see all the comfort you give, and we'd like to give some back to you, with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper.
That turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Feed more families with Meyer Brand and Simply Give.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, when you purchase high-quality, low-price Meyer Brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Oh, the Rockers are on a penalty kill. Good clear by Mike Wynn. It's an Insight Health penalty kill as Jonathan Giuliano's in there for roughing. You're not feeling like yourself? Well, visit one of Insight's locations all across southeastern Michigan. You get some insight into your health today. There's a shot. Babin kicked it aside. Here's the real test for Trevor Babin. Can he make tonight special? Freeborn to the far side to Scantlebury. Cycles it down low, back into the slot. Good breakup. Motor City gets a clear. Excellent play there by the Rockers and Declan Conway. New Rockers come on. Vanderweel, Svinsov, Milam, and Rotundi are your four. Freeborn carries it across the timeline to the far side. Merritt. There's a shot. Babin makes the save. Minute 55 left on the clock. 1:05 left in the man advantage. Here's Freeborn. Cycles it. Back now to Freeborn. Gives it right back to Foley. Foley gives it down low. Carrying the puck now is DeCumbis. Doesn't see a lot of room. Retreats. Gives it back to the point to Scantlebury. Back down low to Foley. Back to the point. 37 seconds left in the Prowler power play. There's a shot. Oh, good break up there by Svintsov and Rotundi in front to Babin, and he kicks it away. 27 seconds left.
I know Svintsov hasn't really showed up on the score sheet, but man, he's played a nice game.
He does. Whether he affects the score sheet or not, you're 100% right, Brady. Motor City, Schumacher. One final shot. That's going to go off a Rocker's ankle. 10 seconds left in the man advantage. Milam has the puck. Going to try to glass it out to the near side, and he does. Earn your keep and earn your rest, Rockers. New Rockers come out on the ice. Jonathan Giuliano comes out of the box. 44 seconds left away for Trevor Babin. Puck's going to be sent down low, picked up by Motor City. Looking for a good stretch pass is Dante Suffredini. Babin has stopped 25 shots, and he is 30 seconds away. Here's an opportunity. Oh, just pushed wide. Rocco DiCostanzo could not bury his second of the game. 23 seconds left. Picard slides it, trying to get it back on a give and go. He has to chase it down low. 15 seconds left. Babin swipes at it. There's a shot. Babin, no! Man! "10 seconds away from a perfect game. And instead, Brian Parsons cuts into the lead. Trevor Babin is so disgusted with himself right there. And I don't blame him. He tried to stop it, just got past him. 19 minutes and 50 seconds away from his second career shutout.
Well, there was about 2 or 3 other times it looked like it was he was due to give up the first goal, and he made some great saves. So water found its level, but yeah, that's a heartbreaker with 10 seconds left.
Oh my goodness. Well, someone finally leveled a hard, clean hit on TJ Delaney at the whistle. Everyone's going to go up to Trevor Babin and say, hey man, stopping 25 out of 26 ain't bad. He wanted all 26. He wasn't going to get them though. Again, that goal scored by Parsons. That was Parsons' first of the year. So how do you like that? Brian Parsons stops the shutout, but what a valiant effort by Trevor Babin. And the Motor City Rockers really dominating this game from start to end, Brady.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. They got on Port Huron early, and they didn't really let up at all. Port Huron had very little pressure in the offensive zone. Trevor Babin made some highlight reel saves, and hope to see this continue tomorrow about 40 miles north of here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Probably maybe a fight before, well, right after puck drop, but we hope it will be another Rockers win. This is their third win over Port Huron this year. So guess what? Motor City all-time is now 12-7 in the I-94 rivalry. It looks like we have some 3 stars gathering at the far side of the ice. And surprisingly enough, Trevor Babin's not going to be one of them. He's going into the locker room. How is that possible? Well, either way, it looks like Scott Koash, Declan Conway, and Miguel Diaz will be your 3 stars. Scott Koash getting the first one. He has a shirt. He's going to give it to a fan. Declan Conway getting the 2nd star of the night. Well, that was a nice toss there by Declan.
I'll tell you what, I thought Jamie Milam, even though he got the first goal, didn't do much else score sheet-wise, but he played a really nice game defensively. You saw his veteran savvy show up a few times. He was a guy I would have considered. I know looking at the box score, you wouldn't think so, but if you saw it in person, you saw Jamie Milam make a few really nice plays.
Milam played great. Right now you see Scott Koash being interviewed as he was probably the top star of the game. Again, he had a great night as well. 3 assists and a goal. Just a tremendous job by Scott Koash tonight. Again, great job by Trevor Babin in net tonight, but tomorrow night's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting game out there in McMorran Place. Of course, Brady, you're going to be, you said, in Big Rapids, right, at Ferris?
Yeah, it's going to be a long day of travel, but yeah, hopefully get home by the time puck drops.
Well, we hope you and Sean have a safe trip up there, and I hope everyone can go up to McMorran Place, support the boys, and then guess what? You can come back here on December 9th as Motor City will come back and finish a home-and-home against Port Huron, because after they go to McMorran Place, they are out on the road after the bye week next week. Again, your final here tonight, 7-1 in favor of the Motor City Rockers, improving to 5-0-2. They've yet to lose in regulation, and again, 3 wins to start the I-94 rivalry this year. One of our fans has just enjoyed himself. That was Chuck. But no matter what, as Chuck leaves the building, as you leave the building and leave the broadcast, we want to let you know, wherever you go, whatever you do, make sure you rock on. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.